My child, stop everything. I have something to say to you, and I'm not whispering it. I'm declaring it with fire. I bless you today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. The moment your eyes landed here, heaven leaned in. I placed this message in your path as a divine appointment, and I won't let you walk away unchanged. This word carries your confirmation, your instruction, your release, but only if you stay and receive it. So I command your spirit, do not scroll, do not skip, do not pause. Watch this through to the final breath, because I've buried something inside it that will unlock doors, lift weights, and ignite your next season. This is not entertainment. It is encounter. And by the end, you won't just hear my voice. You will feel it in your bones. Prepare yourself. The blessing begins now. My beloved child, stop. Stop the scroll, the worry, the endless rehearsing of what might go wrong. Pause that inner monologue that tells you you're behind, unseen, unheard. I bless you, intentionally, fiercely, precisely, today. I don't wait until you feel qualified. I don't withhold blessing until your life looks perfect on the outside. I bless you because I've seen what no one else has seen. I've watched you kneel in the middle of confusion and lift your voice in whispers when the noise inside felt too loud. I've seen you try to carry strength while your insides begged for relief. And I'm telling you now, put it all down. All of it. The guilt, the striving, the questions you can't answer. Stop everything and receive what I'm pouring. This is not just a gentle breeze of comfort. This is the beginning of the blessing. A shift in atmosphere has been triggered simply by your willingness to stop and listen. While the world pulls at your attention with deadlines and drama, I am here with a declaration that carries eternity's weight. I bless you today. Not yesterday when you felt more spiritual. Not tomorrow when you think you will be more ready. Today, I bless you right here, in the middle of your unfinished prayers and unanswered questions. I'm blessing the real you, the you that feels like you're running out of strength, the you that still wonders if you're enough, the you who secretly asks if I've moved on to bless someone else. Child, I bless your presence, your essence, your existence. I breathe over your day and mark it as holy. This moment, right now, has been touched by heaven's hand. I've stepped into this very second with an outpouring meant only for you. And I will not be rushed. I will not be drowned out by the noise. You don't have to fight for my attention. You already have it. I've silenced lesser voices in the spirit realm just to draw close to yours. And I'm not moving until you feel it. I bless you today, not in theory, but in real, raw, soul-level reality. You will feel the shift. Because when I bless, creation responds. My child, lean in closer. What you are hearing in this very moment is not scattered seed thrown across the soil of the world, hoping to land somewhere useful. This is not a broadcast meant for everyone, everywhere. No, this is a whisper straight to the center of your being. A divine dispatch wrapped in fire and focused like a laser beam toward your soul. This is not a word crafted for the crowd. This is for the called, for the set apart, for the one whose tears fell in secret, whose faith stood when friends disappeared, whose hands still lifted even when the atmosphere around them felt like silence. Yes, this is for you. Don't push it away with humility soaked in false belief. Don't disqualify yourself with quiet inner apologies for things I already forgave. I didn't release this word to echo aimlessly in the halls of heaven. I crafted it with precision, with passion, with piercing intimacy. You are not an afterthought. You are not a number in a crowd. You are the reason my voice has reached into the noise today. This word has your name etched into its every syllable. Let me say it plainly. This is targeted grace, precision mercy, personalized prophecy. I don't miss when I speak. I don't guess when I aim. The arrow of my blessing has been launched from eternity's bow, and it is flying with fierce accuracy into the center of your battle. You are not merely overhearing someone else's breakthrough. You are receiving your own. I tailor my words the way a master tailor cuts fabric. No extra, no excess, no mistake. Everything I speak to you right now has been trimmed and measured according to the shape of your struggle, the weight of your obedience, and the tempo of your waiting. No one else can wear this word the way you can. No one else could hold what I'm giving you without it slipping through their fingers. That's why I waited. It's why I spoke now. Because you're finally able to carry what I've been longing to place in your hands. I didn't send a messenger. I didn't assign an angel to whisper this. I came myself. Because this isn't public news, it's personal revelation. And I'm not just informing you. I'm transforming you as I speak. And yes, this level of intimacy might startle you. It might feel too close, too specific, too real. But child, what you feel right now is the weight of being fully known. You beg for confirmation, for clarity, for comfort. But what I am delivering is all three wrapped in the fire of communion. This is the moment the general becomes personal. The infinite becomes intimate. The holy becomes near. Do not brush this off like another comforting post or another kind message among many. This is not content. This is covenant. This is me bending close, not with platitudes, but with power. I'm not here to soothe the surface. I'm here to saturate your soul with the reality that you matter more than you ever imagined. You've been overlooked by people, but not by me. You've been passed by opportunities, but never by my intention. You've been forgotten by some, but never removed from my remembrance. This is your word. This is your moment. And I will not let it go unheard. I speak now with fire in my breath and tenderness in my tone. This word carries the full force of my attention. It will chase away the fog. It will rip apart every lie that told you you're too late, too small, too far gone. You are exactly where I intended you to be for this collision of promise and presence. You are not missing out. You're being moved in. And now, I tell you again, this is not a general word. It is not common. It is not vague. It is holy. It is specific. It is for you. When I formed the heavens, I saw you. When I carved rivers with my breath and set the stars like diamonds across the night sky, I had this very second in mind. Time is not your master. It bows to me. And I, the Ancient of Days, reached into the folds of forever, scrolled through the pages of your past and future, and planted this moment like a seed destined to bloom. Child, I chose this minute, this breath, this very blink of reality to intersect with your soul. You didn't stumble into this. You didn't scroll here by accident. You are standing in the center of divine choreography. The calendars of man may not understand it, but the eternal archives of heaven have marked this hour with a golden seal that reads, appointed, not delayed, not denied, destined. You know why the warfare intensified recently, why confusion increased, why the emotional pressure felt unbearable. It's because the enemy sensed something he could not stop. My finger moving across the timeline toward you. He saw the holy activation approaching. He saw angels being dispatched. He saw the breakthrough swelling in the unseen. And in a last-ditch effort, he tried to send discouragement like a flood. But he was too late. I had already placed my hand on this hour. I had already declared it sacred. Heaven's bell has rung, and it echoes through your spirit like thunder wrapped in glory. Now is the time. This is not your undoing. It's your unbinding. Not your breakdown. It's your breaking forth. I looked across eternity, bypassed 1,000 other moments, and chose this one for your release. You see it now. Why things felt still, quiet, unbearable. I wasn't punishing you. I was protecting the purity of what I was planning. Some breakthroughs are so sacred. They must be delivered in silence, wrapped in mystery, unveiled only when your spirit is tender enough to receive. You are ready now, not perfect, not polished, but open. And that is all I've been waiting for. You won't leave this moment the same. You cannot. Because my presence, when it arrives at full force, doesn't just encourage, it rebuilds. You will see the veil lift, the fog clear, the shackles break. Because I placed my finger on this moment and called it your deliverance day. Let me remind you, I don't act randomly. I move with rhythm, with reverence, with resurrection power. Your life is not a loose collection of disappointments and delays. It's a divine blueprint, and this right here, is one of the most holy intersections. You didn't miss your window. This is the window. You didn't fall behind. You've been right on time with me. And as I pour over you this blessing today, know this: when I touch a moment, it becomes unshakable, unstoppable, irreversible. Your deliverance has not only begun, it has been declared. This breakthrough is not only been promised, it is now being performed. And the reason it feels so exact, so piercing, so undeniably real, it's because I, your God, have reached through the layers of time to meet you here, in this precise breath, with a blessing no one else can block. My child, I know the thoughts that swirl within you. I know how you weigh your worth by your efforts, how you measure your readiness by your performance, how you quietly wonder if today is one of those days I might pass you by. But I tell you now, stop measuring, stop calculating, stop qualifying yourself. For what I am releasing today is not born out of your perfection, but birthed out of my affection. You didn't ask for this blessing. You didn't even see it coming. But I've decided, without petition, without prompting, without pressure, that today is the day I show you how deeply, fiercely, and relentlessly I love you. I am not blessing you because you prayed the right words or avoided the wrong steps. I am blessing you because you are mine. And I cannot keep my goodness from one I have called beloved. You see, heaven doesn't operate like earth. Down here, they wait until you've earned applause. They wait until you've climbed ladders, proven yourself, impressed the masses. But not me. I don't wait for the perfect version of you. I bless the present version, the one who limps in faith, the one who questions in the night, the one who still shows up when it would be easier to disappear. I saw your tears this week that no one asked about. I felt your sighs between sentences, the heaviness you carried while still serving others. You didn't demand anything from me. You weren't chasing a reward. You were just trying to breathe and believe. And that posture, that heart, is what captured me today. I'm not blessing you because you lifted your hands perfectly. I'm blessing you because you lifted your eyes toward me even when you didn't know what to say. I need you to understand something deeper. This blessing is my decision. Not man's, not culture's, not coincidence. It's not the result of you striving. It's the result of me seeing you when no one else looked long enough. Seeing you beyond the filters, beyond the noise, beyond the performance. I saw the child inside still trying to trust, still trying to hope. And I chose, out of my own sovereign will, to bless that heart today. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are to me. You are not a servant performing for a wage. You are a son, a daughter, an heir to the inheritance I've been storing in secret. I bless you not because your hands are spotless, but because your heart is postured. You keep returning. You keep reaching. You keep believing even when belief costs everything. And today, I answer that faith not with a whisper, but with a wave of favor. So let this blessing quiet the voice that keeps saying I haven't done enough. Let it shut down the lie that says, I must wait until I'm better. Let it drown out the shame that tries to shrink your identity down to your past. I didn't wait for your permission to bless you. I just did it. Because love doesn't always knock. Sometimes it rushes in like a flood. And that's what's happening now. Grace is flooding your soul. Mercy is kissing your forehead. Favor is circling you like a whirlwind. And none of it is attached to what you've done. It's all anchored in who you are. To me. You are not just seen. You are celebrated. You are not just chosen. You are cherished. You are not just loved. You are marked for this moment. So open your heart wide. This blessing doesn't need your performance. It just needs your permission to enter. I know, child. I know the weight of silence. I know what it feels like when the heavens feel quiet, when every prayer echoes into stillness, when my voice seems buried beneath the noise of your fears. I've seen you in those nights when you asked, "Where are you?" Not with bitterness, but with a heart breaking beneath unanswered longing. And I want to tell you something that only now, in this sacred moment, you are ready to hear. I was never absent. Not for a second. I wasn't withholding myself in cruelty. I was building something in the stillness. Something so weighty, so sacred, so beyond your imagination that it required the hush of heaven to protect its formation. Yes, my silence was strategic. While you thought I was distant, I was designing. I was shaping the frame of the breakthrough you now stand on the edge of. You asked for answers, but I was constructing foundations. You asked for relief, but I was developing resilience. I had to let the silence stretch, not to hurt you, but to stretch the capacity of your faith. Because the blessing I am now placing upon your life is not lightweight. It's not delicate. It's not surface level. It carries the substance of glory. And glory is heavy. Glory must rest on shoulders that have been strengthened through surrender, not strategy. You have that strength now, though you didn't see it growing in the waiting. I grew it in your weeping. I strengthened it in your stillness. The silence was not a sign of abandonment. It was the veil that protected the holy. While others danced loudly in visible favor, you were being hidden in holy formation. I wrapped you in mystery so the enemy wouldn't recognize the masterpiece. I muted my voice so you would learn to hear me through trust, not just through words. And you did. You listened when there was nothing to listen to. You obeyed when there was no applause. You stayed when all logic said to leave. That's why now I reveal the weight of what was forming. That's why I bless you not just with answers, but with authority. Because you were trained in the silence to hear me with spiritual ears. And now, your ears are tuned to frequencies others ignore. You will hear instructions that don't come with explanations. You will sense movements before others even notice the winds have changed. And child, because you didn't give up when silence was all you heard, I now fill that silence with substance. I'm restoring every echo with evidence. I'm replacing every unanswered prayer with undeniable provision. What I am releasing now doesn't just bless you, it vindicates the silent seasons. It explains the ache. It answers the ache. The days when you felt forgotten will become the very testimony that showcases my faithfulness. And you won't just tell people God was there. They will see that I was. The weight I'm placing on your life now, the blessing, the favor, the opportunity, the influence, is proportionate to what you endured in secret. And it will be impossible to deny that something holy happened while the world thought nothing was happening at all. So lift your eyes. The silence is breaking, and the sound that comes next is the sound of heaven's response. My child, when I say I bless you, I do not speak in riddles. I do not speak in metaphors. I speak with fire. I speak with fullness. I speak with force. My blessing is not a poetic pat on the back. It is not symbolic sentiment meant to simply make you feel seen. No, when I bless you, I am releasing power into the very infrastructure of your life. I am commanding heaven's authority to stretch across the landscape of your days and right what was once declared dead, delayed, or denied. My blessing today is not an emotional moment. It is a divine movement. I am not sending good wishes wrapped in light. I am sending holy fire wrapped in weight. What I speak does not evaporate in the air. It invades, it shifts, it establishes. When I said, "Let there be light," galaxies erupted from silence. When I blessed Abraham, generations were set into motion. When I spoke over Jesus, the heavens opened. And today, child, I say over you, with the same intensity, the same gravity, the same eternal reverberation, I bless you. And that blessing doesn't just rest on your skin, it sinks into your bones. It rewires your path. It redirects opposition. It carries the stamp of the Most High. You must understand this isn't a light touch. This is a full encounter. I am not whispering promises into a void. I am commanding alignment into your life. The blessing I place upon you today walks into boardrooms before you do. It dismantles traps before you sense the danger. It opens doors you weren't supposed to know existed. And when people ask how it all happened, the only name they will be able to whisper is mine. This is the kind of blessing that doesn't just visit your day, it reshapes your timeline. Your past gets filtered through mercy. Your future begins to pulsate with precision. Your present, this very breath, is being caught up in the whirlwind of my strategy. This blessing is not passive. It is assertive. It has a voice that silences lies, a breath that revives the weary, and a force that disarms darkness. It carries the sound of finality, the amen of heaven crashing down on every what if the enemy whispered in your ear. When I bless, it is not optional. It is official. Hell cannot revoke what I've written in royal decree. Demons cannot dismantle what I've built in divine order. And what I've released over you today bears my signature. It cannot be forged, imitated, or undone. So walk differently now. Breathe deeper. Hold your head higher. Not out of grind, but out of position. For when I bless, I establish. I plant roots where the enemy tried to sow instability. I build walls of peace where anxiety tried to create chaos. I surround you with angels not out of obligation, but because my name is on you. And I do not bless halfway. I do not release fragments. I speak with fullness because my nature is abundance. My child, you are fully blessed. Now, today, in this breath. Not because of who is watching, but because I am watching. And when I speak blessing, even time has to bow. Oh, beloved, I see the war inside your mind. I've watched as thoughts looped endlessly like a broken record, replaying fears, failures, and what-ifs. I've seen the silent battles that never make it to your voice, the questions that you don't dare share with anyone, not because you don't believe, but because you're tired of hoping. You're tired of being disappointed by outcomes that didn't match your prayers. And I understand. I don't stand above you in judgment. I draw closer now with intervention. Because I have not just come to speak to your life, I've come to speak to your thoughts. I'm blessing the battlefield inside your head. The invisible territory that's been under siege for far too long. The thoughts that twist your sleep, that drown your joy, that second-guess every miracle I send your way. Those are the thoughts I'm targeting right now. I speak peace, not generic, not fleeting, but fortified peace. The kind of peace that doesn't tremble at breaking news, at shifting circumstances, or at rising voices. The kind of peace that passes understanding and surpasses every lie you've ever entertained. You've rehearsed worry. You've memorized pain. But now I am writing a new script. I am releasing thoughts from heaven that override earthly logic. I am placing divine thoughts into your mental atmosphere, truths that anchor, words that soothe, strategies that guide. No longer will your mind be a revolving door of regret and what-if scenarios. I am sealing the exits, fortifying the walls, and installing holy filters that guard your heart and mind through me. Your mind has been carrying weight it was never built to bear. That's why the headaches came. That's why your energy dipped without reason. That's why you've been waking up tired even after rest. Because your thoughts have been at war, even when your body was still. But now I come with healing in my voice. I come to breathe stillness into the storm. You will feel it, child. As you receive this blessing, something will loosen. The tightness will begin to break. The overthinking will begin to unravel. And in its place will come waves. Waves of calm, waves of rest, waves of mental clarity that you haven't tasted in years. This is not temporary. This is transformational. I don't fix service symptoms. I restore the source. And the source of your exhaustion hasn't been your work. It's been your thought life. That's what I'm blessing now. So take a deep breath, my beloved. Inhale peace. Exhale fear. Let me do what no book, no podcast, no advice ever could. Let me speak directly into the stream of your thoughts and purify them. I created your mind. I know how to renew it. You are not a prisoner to cycles. You are not trapped in fear. You are not beyond repair. You are blessed in the battlefield of your thoughts, and this moment is the declaration of your freedom. Peace is not coming. Peace is here, and it will not be shaken, moved, or stolen. You will think differently. You will perceive differently. Because I have laid my hand upon your thoughts, and when I bless completely. I have watched your hands, not just what they've done, but what they've carried. The weight no one else noticed. The invisible burdens that did show up in photos or prayer requests. The long nights where those hands clenched in silence, praying for something, anything, to shift. I saw them hold grocery bags and grief at the same time. I saw them type words of encouragement to others while your own soul starved for hope. I saw your hands hold back anger, hold on to promises, hold the line when it would have been easier to let go. You didn't always lift them in worship because sometimes they were too heavy with reality. And I want you to know, I noticed. And today, I bless those hands. Not just lightly, not casually, but with a divine weight of favor, fruit, and holy fire that will never be removed. These hands of yours, weathered by life, worn by service, washed in silent tears, are about to receive more than they ever reached for. I bless your hands with favor, supernatural ease in places where there once was strain. What you touch will begin to flourish, not because you have mastered strategy, but because you stayed faithful. Your fingerprints have been found on 1,000 unseen sacrifices, and I now press my own fingerprints upon your palms. You will notice it, child. Doors will open before you even knock. Resources will land before you even ask. What used to require striving will now respond to stillness, because the anointing I place on your hands will do more than your words ever could. These are the hands I've chosen to steward sacred things. They will not labor in vain. And I bless your hands with fruit, not just results but revelation. You will see what your past efforts were really cultivating. You will taste the sweetness of seed sown in tears and harvest birthed in obedience. You didn't realize it, but every moment you gave in love, every act of generosity when no one said thank you, every time you wiped away tears while still extending grace, you were planting. And I, your God, have not forgotten a single seed. The soil may have been dry, but your heart was fertile. And now the rain has come. Not drizzle, but downpour. Prepare to gather what I've grown, and prepare to do it with hands that are no longer weary, but ignited. Because, child, I bless your hands today not only with favor, not only with fruit, but with fire. Holy fire. Not the kind that burns to destroy, but the kind that burns to reveal. The kind that purifies, that propels, that marks your hands as heaven's instruments. From this moment forward, when you lay hands on the sick, they will recover. When you place your hand on your children's heads, peace will rest upon them. When you lift your hands in surrender, the heavens will respond with open floodgates. I have made your hands a weapon and a well, a weapon against darkness and a well of living water for those around you. You thought they were just hands, just flesh and bone. But I see altars in them. I see oil on them. I see glory through them. And today, I say again with eternal finality, I bless your hands with favor, with fruit, with holy fire. There is something sacred about your name, not just the one others call you, but the one I gave you before you ever lived a day. I've called you by name when no one else remembered it. I've whispered it over you when you were drowning in labels the world tried to glue onto your identity. Failure. Forgotten. Too late. Too little. Not enough. But I never used those names. I called you faithful. I called you chosen. I called you mine. And today, I bless your name, not for headlines, not for applause, not for spotlight, but for divine recognition. There are realms where your name is known not because of what you've achieved, but because of how you've obeyed. You didn't seek recognition, but heaven saw you. You didn't chase fame, but I marked your name. You've walked into rooms and felt invisible. You've done the right thing when no one clapped. You've remained loyal when others walked away with credit. But I want you to know, every hidden obedience, every whispered yes, every quiet surrender, registered in the heavenlies. Angels have spoken your name with reverence. The enemy has feared it because of your quiet endurance. Your name has been attached to assignments the earth has not yet seen. And child, I'm about to uncover what I hid in you for such a time as this. But not for vanity, not for status, for purpose, for kingdom movement, for generational shifts that only your name carries authority to unlock. I am lifting your name now, not in pride but in positioning. The doors opening for you will not be the result of self-promotion. They will open because I have spoken your name in places your feet have not yet touched. You'll be remembered without striving, chosen without campaigning, invited without performing. Because when I bless a name, I surround it with sovereign favor. You will hear people say, I don't know why, but your name came to mind. That's me. That's me stirring hearts, directing connections, and orchestrating divine intersections where your obedience can speak louder than introductions. This is not about popularity. This is about prophecy, being fulfilled. So walk tall and not in ego but in identity. Your name carries weight now, not because of accolades but because of alignment. Hell knows your name because of how many times you said yes in the dark. Heaven knows your name because of how many times you stayed when you had every reason to walk away. And now the earth will begin to know your name because of what I'm doing through you. I don't need the world to validate you. I've already vindicated you. And today, I bless your name. Not just the sound of it. Not just the letters that form it. I bless the legacy attached to it. I bless the authority behind it. I bless every place where it will now be mentioned, not to elevate you but to reveal me through you. Because your name is not forgotten. It is forever sealed in my book. My beloved child, listen closely. I bless your body, not just your soul, not just your spirit, but your physical vessel. The one you wake up in every day, the one that carries the weight of responsibilities, the one that's pushed forward even when it felt like it was falling apart. I've seen the way your body has been fatigued. I've seen how your bones have ached in silence. I've watched you smile while your muscles trembled, hold conversations while your heart quietly begged for relief. But today I say to you with the full force of heaven's promise, I bless your body. Rest is not a distant hope. Strength is not a future goal. Healing is not delayed. I'm moving now, through veins, through joints, through every cell, every fiber, every weary corner of you. Yes, child, I bless you with rest. Not just the kind that comes from sleep, but the kind that seeps into your bones like holy stillness. A kind of rest that no mattress can offer and no medicine can replicate. You have carried weight emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And I say it again, with divine finality, rest is coming. It will not be random. It will not be temporary. It will be restorative. The kind of rest that resets your nervous system. The kind of rest that resets your expectations. The kind of rest that doesn't just heal fatigue, but reverses years of wear. My rest is holy. My rest is sacred. And I am releasing it into your body like a wave, washing away the ache, the tension, the stress that settled like fog on your shoulders. And strength, oh child, strength is returning, not solely, not partially, not reluctantly, but like a lion awakened. What felt depleted is now being replenished. And not just human strength, but supernatural endurance. I am returning stamina to your days. I am sending strength to your limbs, breath to your lungs, clarity to your brain, stability to your balance, and vigor to every movement. Where you once dragged yourself through tasks, you will now flow with grace. Where your body said, I can't take any more, my spirit now says, you will soar on wings like eagles. I'm not giving you recycled energy. I'm giving you resurrection power. You won't just function again. You will flourish. And child, hear this with trembling awe. Healing is moving through places even doctors couldn't touch. The parts of you that were labeled permanent, I am rewriting them. Diagnoses that left you discouraged, I am dismantling them. I bless your body with healing that confounds the logical, interrupts the clinical, and confirms the spiritual. This is not hype. This is heaven's intervention. My healing knows no boundaries. It flows into chronic pain. It dissolves inflammation. It calms autoimmune storms. It regulates what's been misfiring. You are not beyond repair. Your body is not too far gone. The breath in your lungs is not on accident. You are sustained by a power that formed you in the secret place. and I will not allow what I formed to be stolen by what I never authored. So lift your hands, not just in surrender, but in receiving. I bless your body with healing, wholeness, and holy restoration. And the proof will not be hidden. It will be felt. I bless your time. Yes, your time. That precious, irreplaceable currency of heaven that you felt slip through your fingers like sand. The hours you spent waiting. The days you spent hoping. The months that turned into years while nothing seemed to shift. I saw you all. I saw how you tried to make peace with the delay. I saw how you wrestled with the ticking clock of when, God. And I've come to tell you, I bless your time. I redeem the seconds. I sanctify the seasons. I resurrect the years you thought were lost. This is not payback. It's divine restoration. And when I restore time, I don't just return what was taken. I return it multiplied. No more delay. You've been delayed by disappointments, distracted by detours, disrupted by decisions that weren't even yours. But child, the delay is breaking. I've seen the calendar pages of your past soaked with silent tears, where every birthday, every anniversary, every milestone mark what didn't happen. But now, I'm turning the page, not because time moved on, but because I have entered it. I step into your timeline not bound by its laws. I stretch time, accelerate time, and bend it to favor you. I bless your today with catch-up grace. What others reached in decades, I can release in days. What seemed permanently postponed, I have placed into position. This blessing is not a moment. It is a movement through time. And the word moment. The years that were taken by trauma, by betrayal, by fear, they are not forgotten. I saw how entire seasons passed you by while you were simply trying to survive. I saw how you tried to fake joy while time ticked on without giving you what you asked for. I saw how the enemy whispered that your best years were behind you. But child, hear me. I am the God of Kairos, not just Chronos. I don't just count time, I command it. And I say to your past, be healed. I say to your present, be anointed. I say to your future, be unlocked. What felt wasted is not gone. It is being redeemed. I am pulling those unseen moments back into your life, not to repeat them, but to resurrect them with glory. So don't fear what's ahead. Don't resent what's behind. I bless your time now with divine velocity. The things that once took 10 years will now happen in 10 weeks. Not because you rush, but because I redeem. I bless your schedule with supernatural alignment. I bless your routine with holy interruptions that shift everything for good. I bless your aging process with reversal of regret. I bless your timeline with testimony. Others may count years by what they gained, but you, child, will count yours by what I restored. I bless your time, and when I bless, time becomes a servant to your purpose, and it will obey me. Child, and take a breath. Take a breath, not just of air, but of awareness, because something is shifting beneath your feet. The path you once stumbled on in the dark is now being lit with divine alignment. I bless your path, not just the destination, but every step. From this moment on, your feet are not moving through chaos, but through choreographed favor. What once felt like wandering is about to feel like walking in wonder. Every step you take from this moment carries a rhythm, a resonance, a revelation. I am not just pointing you in a direction. I am ordering your every movement. You've been asking for clarity, for confirmation, for some sign that you're going the right way. But child, let me tell you something deeper. I don't just bless direction. I bless the decisions within the direction. A turn you didn't understand. I was there. The delay you hated. That was me too. The detour that made no sense. I used it. I've been navigating you through what looked like nothing into something sacred. And now, I bless the road ahead, not with predictability, but with provision. You will not walk into empty spaces anymore. Your feet will find paths where none existed. You will walk into opportunities you didn't apply for. Conversations you didn't initiate will become catalysts of purpose. You will look back and realize, this wasn't coincidence. This was covenant. I bless your path with favor you didn't even pray for. That means this blessing will outrun your requests. You prayed for doors, I'm giving you corridors. You asked for open windows, I'm removing entire walls. You begged for a moment of relief, I'm releasing a lifetime of revelation. You thought you needed a signpost, but I've given you a signature. My signature is on your journey now. Where others relied on maps, you will walk with miracles. Where others depended on connections, you will be carried by divine currents. People will ask, how did you end up here? And you will say, I just kept walking and God kept aligning. So walk boldly, even if you feel unsure. My blessing is not dependent on your certainty. It's anchored in my sovereignty. You won't miss the mark. You won't take the wrong turn. Even your stumbles will fall into step with my strategy. I bless your path, not just so you can walk it, but so you can reclaim the confidence to trust it. From this moment forward, favor follows your footsteps. And not just the favor you prayed for, but the favor you didn't even know to ask. You have just heard me say, I bless your hands, and now I give you a chance to make those hands part of something eternal. I have kindled a fire in this word, and through your giving, you pour oil upon that flame, causing it to burn brighter, farther, deeper. Every seed you sow, whether through super thanks, membership, or donation, is a kingdom key unlocking another soul's breakthrough. This is more than support. This is partnership in harvest. For it is written, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25. And I declare over you now, your gift will return multiplied, your obedience will not go unseen, and your heart will be wrapped in favor. I am prompting you, not out of pressure, but out of prophetic purpose. Go now. Scroll to the description, release what I place in your hand, and let this river flow through you. I heard you, child. I heard you every time you said maybe next year. Every time you whispered, I guess it's not time yet. Every time you looked at the clock, the calendar, the conditions, and told yourself you needed to wait a little longer. But I, the God of perfect timing, am here to interrupt your delay with divine now. You thought I needed more time. You thought I was still working behind the scenes. And yes, I was. But not because I wasn't ready. I was waiting for the right time. And now, the time has come. You are not early. You are not late. You are standing in the threshold of right now release. I've heard the internal negotiations. The endless rehearsals of maybe when things settle, maybe when I'm stronger, maybe after the next thing. But child, I don't need more preparation. I've already done it. I don't need more convincing. I've already chosen you. I don't need more proof. You are the proof. The fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still believing, that's all the evidence I require. You are not waiting for permission anymore. Heaven has already approved the assignment. The wait wasn't punishment, it was protection. The delay wasn't rejection, it was redirection. And now, the hour I held back is being poured out, not as a drip, but as a divine downpour. Let me be perfectly clear, now is not an accident. This now is holy. This now is heavy. This now carries what the last decade couldn't contain. What you thought was stagnation was actually saturation. I have been filling you in secret, preparing you in obscurity, fortifying you in silence. And now, the dam is breaking. Now, the ground beneath your feet is trembling with supernatural momentum. This is your appointed moment, not because the conditions are ideal, but because the anointing is undeniable. This is the time I've carved out in eternity as the launch point for what no eye has seen and no ear has heard. So stand still for a moment, not in fear, but in faith. Let the reality of now sink deep into your soul. Let every excuse unravel. Let every lie dissolve. Let every delay bow to my decree. I'm not stretching this into someday. I'm declaring this now day. This is the time when the pages turn, the silence breaks, the doors swing open, the healing rushes in, the story shifts. You thought I was still working things out, but child, I was waiting for the moment you were ready to receive it. And that moment is here. That moment is now. Oh my beloved, how many times have you swallowed the words you long to speak? How often have you held your breath instead of releasing your truth? I've seen it. Those moments when you felt like your voice didn't matter, like your words bounced off walls that would never hear you. You've been silenced, not always by force, but by fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being too much. Fear of not being enough. You've measured every sentence like it was fragile glass, terrified it would shatter in someone else's hands. But today, I reach into the very depths of your soul, and I bless what many overlooked, your voice. Not just the sound that comes from your lips, but the expression of who you are, what you carry, what you know in your bones to be real. I bless the voice that's been buried. I bless the sound that's been stifled. I bless the roar that's been reduced to a whisper. And hear me now. Your voice is not ordinary. It is laced with prophetic resonance. It is wrapped in revelation that only comes from someone who has walked through valleys and survived the silence. You didn't just learn how to speak. You learned how to carry truth through trauma. That's what gives your voice its weight. That's why the enemy tried so hard to mute you. He wasn't afraid of your volume, he was terrified of your value. The spiritual weight of what you release in a sentence carries more breakthrough than some release in a lifetime. Why? Because your voice has been through fire. You don't speak from theory. You speak from transformation. That's why I'm blessing it. That's why I'm raising it. That's why you can no longer hide. The blessing I place on your voice will do more than restore your confidence. It will release atmospheric authority. When you speak, anxiety will have to flee. When you sing, depression will lose its grip. When you declare truth, confusion will unravel like thread. I have anointed your words with oil that doesn't wash off. This is not about charisma. It's about consecration. You've given me your silence, your pain, your waiting, and now I give you a voice that will shatter the ceilings built by fear. You won't just speak to be heard. You'll speak to break chains. Your voice will be a sword wrapped in gentleness, a trumpet dipped in wisdom, a sound recognized in the realm of the spirit as dangerous to darkness. And when people ask, what changed? You will say, God gave me back my voice. So open your mouth without trembling. Speak with boldness not rooted in pride, but in purpose. Prophecy over your own life. Declare what you were too afraid to dream. Sing when the atmosphere is heavy. Pray when the room feels numb. Your voice is no longer bound to survival. It has been blessed for revival. I bless your voice, and no man, no fear, no past, no label has the right to silence what I have empowered. This is your moment to rise. to speak, to release heaven's sound through your life. Because, child, when I bless a voice, the whole world hears heaven thunder through it. Let me speak to the part of your heart that has waited in silence, the part that smiled at everyone else's celebrations while wondering if yours would ever come. I saw you, even when no one did. I saw you love with your whole heart and get left in the shadows. I saw you try to hold things together when others walked away. I saw the loyalty, the forgiveness, the courage to stay tender even after being wounded. And child, I've never been indifferent to the ache. I've heard the whisper beneath, the laughter, the quiet question beneath, the worship. God, when will I be surrounded the way I give to others? Today I bless your relationships, not just with healing, but with holy reordering. What was toxic will be removed. What was absent will be sent. What was draining will be replaced by what is divinely destined. You were never meant to do life alone. You were never designed to feel like the only one who sees, who serves, who surrenders. You were built for divine connection. And I say to you now, it's coming. The alignment you prayed for. The friendships that sharpen and don't compete. The people who celebrate you without agenda. The ones who stay, not because they need what you offer, but because they see your heart and honor it. I am drawing people to you, intercessors, encouragers, builders, confidants. They will not be perfect, but they will be anointed for your journey. They will speak life where others sowed doubt. They will stand guard when your strength dips low. They will not manipulate. They will minister. These aren't casual companions. These are covenant relationships. And for those who left, I know it hurt. I know some departures felt like betrayal wrapped in silence. But trust me, I prune with purpose. I remove people not to punish you, but to protect the future I'm preparing. Some were never meant to carry the next season. Some were meant to bless for a moment, but not build long term. So let them go without bitterness. Release them with peace. I will fill the spaces they vacated with those who carry vision and value. You won't have to explain yourself. You won't have to overextend to be understood. I'm sending relationships that feel like home to your soul. You won't have to shrink to keep them. You'll grow because of them. So I bless your relationships, past, present, and future. I bless your ability to receive love again without suspicion. I bless your discernment to know who is sent and who is seasonal. I bless your inner circle with heaven's hand-picked alliances. I bless your marriage, your friendships, your mentors, your community. No more counterfeits. No more cycles. No more loneliness in a crowded room. The divine connections you've waited for are not delayed. They are already being drawn to your light. And child, they are not just coming to support you. They are coming to build with you. Because where I'm taking you, you won't go alone. My beloved child, I know your memory, every scar, every silent scream, every tear in the middle of the night that you swore no one saw. Those moments you replayed over and over, embarrassments, betrayals, losses, they tried to cement themselves into your identity. They whispered lies about your worth. They carved out places in your heart, cramped and cold. I saw how you tried to push them down, hide them, pretend they weren't there. But I do not ignore them. I do not pretend they don't matter. Because those memories, they are part of your story. And I, your God, draw near not to shame you but to redeem those memories. To transmute pain into praise, grief into testimony, sorrow into song. I bless your memory. I bless the parts you wished you could forget, those times when the world seemed too heavy and your confidence too fragile. I call forth healing into those recollections that have haunted you. the rejection you thought you'd never recover from, the words spoken over you that sought to define you, the nights when fear ruled and hope felt like a stranger. I take those moments now, not to let you stay in them, but to let them magnify my faithfulness. Every tear, every broken promise, every disappointment, they will not be wasted. They will become windows through which my light shines so bright that others in darkness see what is possible, what deliverer, redeemer, healer I am. I see you. How often the remembrance of past pain kept you from believing I could ever do something new. How you feared trusting because memories of betrayal whispered, "You can't." But I speak now. Those memories no longer hold jail bars over your soul. I remove their grip. I forgive them, you, those who hurt you, and I release you. And then I take those very memories and I baptize them with purpose. I turn the ashes of what you thought was loss into fuel for your destiny. I weave those broken moments into the tapestry of your testimony, so that when someone looks at the glory I am pouring over your life, they will see not only my power, but how tender I am in bringing beauty from every fragment. You will testify not about what was done to you, but about who I am in the aftermath. You will stand and say, "I was wounded, but I was not destroyed. I was forgotten by mortals, but I was always remembered by God." The memories that once tried to shape you will now witness for you. They will not shout shame, they will whisper praise. What once echoed loss will now reverberate with life. I am turning your memory into monument, not a monument of pain, but of my mercy. You will carry your story not with brokenness that burdens, but with God-breathed authority that frees. And through your memory, others will know they too can rise from what tried to bury them. So don't shrink away from your past. Don't pretend it doesn't matter. Embrace it, but through my strength. Let my love sweep through those places in your mind that ache. Let my presence warm them. Let my forgiveness soothe them. For this very moment, I pronounce over your memory, you are more than what you've lived through. You are more than what they said about you. You are my child, and I glorify myself through your survival. And in your survival, I reveal my power. In your testimony, I shout my praise. I bless your memory, and that blessing starts now. This moment you open your heart to receive that redemption. Beloved, I see the hidden kindness in your hands, the generosity you offered through tears, the prayers you interceded with when all you held was pain. You stood strong for others while quietly crumbling inside. You sowed blessings into lives that noticed perhaps more than you think, but no matter how much they noticed, you often buried your own bleeding behind a mask of service. I know how heavy that burden has become. I know how every thank you that never came, every recognition that never arrived, every moment you faced alone, it felt like silence when you needed validation. But I tell you now, I have been storing up rewards for every unseen act. I have been gathering together blessings for every time you sacrifice your own rest so others could feel safe. And today, I return to you a blessing multiplied. This is not just compensation, it is a countermeasure, a divine rehearsal. For every tear you swallowed, I pour laughter. For every night you cried out and thought I didn't hear, I will cause heavens to hear and respond. For every time you felt used, misunderstood, unappreciated, I will cause honor to shower upon you. I will make your generosity your testimony. I will turn your hidden hands into the foundation of public miracles. Those you lifted quietly will cascade in blessings back upon you in ways you cannot yet see. They will not all come at once, but they will come, not trickling, but in torrents. Not as a whisper, but as a symphony. For when I multiply a blessing, I do so with my voice, with my authority, with my essence. I bless you with abundance, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. I bless you with joy that is no longer borrowed. I bless you with increase in your work, your spirit, your relationships. I restore reputations. I restore dreams deferred. I restore hope that was buried beneath duty. I will cause favor to pursue you like a shadow that cannot be escaped. Doors opened for others will now line for you. Eyes will see and affirm what you gave in silence. People will rise to speak over you what I have been speaking in your spirit. I know how you wondered if giving was foolish. I know how sometimes you felt depleted. But giving from the heart produced unseen currency in the heavens, and today that currency is being exchanged in your favor. And let me say this, multiplication does not mean merely more. It means exponential. What you planted in tears will now sprout fruit in joy. What you whispered in the dark will now echo with declaration. What you offered without applause, I will exalt with glory. This is a season of overflow. A season where sorrow turns to songs. A season where giving was seed but now becomes harvest. Your faithfulness in quiet will no longer be silent. Your sacrifice in humility will no longer go unnoticed. I am returning to you a blessing multiplied, with the power of heaven backing every increase. So receive it. Open your hands. Allow my blessing to land. Do not scan for imperfections in yourself that try to disqualify you. Do not whisper, I don't deserve this. That lie has no place now. You have carried burdens others could not bear. You have been faithful even when invisible. And today, I call forth your blessing multiplied. I call forth your breakthrough, your elevation, your release. I call forth what you have been asking and also what you didn't know to ask. Because when I bless you, I bless abundantly. And that blessing, multiplied, begins in this very breath you are breathing now. My child, there is a future awaiting you so vivid, so radiant, so filled with hope, that some nights you tremble in fear thinking, what if I dare to hope and it never comes? I know those fears. I have felt the tremor in your heart when you imagine your brightest days finally arriving. But hear me now. I have not been idle in your despair. Before you even whispered your dream, I stepped into the unknown. Before you map out your plan, I drew pathways. While you were afraid to speak what you wanted, I was already paving roads where there were none, roads through wilderness, roads over mountains, roads cut through walls. I bless your future, yes, all of it, even the parts you dare not name, even the visions you hide beneath doubt, because I have already built toward them. The blueprint of your destiny has been unfolding in eternity. My hands were at work even when your eyes were dry, even when your voice was faint. You remember those times you felt that open door was gone forever. You saw that you walked through what you longed for. You wondered if maybe yours had been lost. But what you saw as delay, what you sensed as denial, was preparation. I was forming that which could not exist without my timing. I was arranging circumstances so the roads I build for you will be supported on both sides, not shaky edges but firm foundations. I built where there were no footprints, crafting paths over barren land, so that when you step, you will step with surety. I carved through the chaos, cleared away thorns, bridged chasms of broken promises. And though the terrain seemed unyielding, I was relentless. I never paused my labor, I never doubted the design. Because it was not by your strength, but by my promise that I committed to your future. So do not shrink back from dreaming. Do not silence your prayer because it feels too big. Do not settle for small when I am calling you to vast. The parts you're scared to dream about, they are the parts I have already animated inside your spirit. The fears that you think disqualify you, those are lies the enemy tried to write over the pages of your destiny. I will not let them stay. I bless your ability to envision again. to see beyond what's normal, to ask for more expecting it to align, to believe that your tomorrow is not bound by today's limit. When you look ahead, you will not only see a horizon, you'll see gates opening. When you stand at the edge of what was once impossible, you will find a path already there, made by me across the void, made for you. The dreams you hid, the hopes you tucked away, they are not dead. They are alive, and I am sowing them with power. And deeper still, the roads I have built where there were none are not temporary trails but highways of destiny. They will carry you into seasons you thought only existed in stories. The bolder parts of your future, your calling, your purpose, your impact, are being supported by what you could not see. And I bless you with courage to walk them. I bless you with vision to perceive more than circumstances allow. I bless you with faith big enough to carry the weight of what I've built. Because when I build roads in your future, I do so with my glory in view, not just your comfort. I don't just want your survival, I want your ascendancy. I want your name to resound in realms where purpose is honored, where promises are fulfilled, where what seemed dead is made alive again. And child, that future begins now, right now, with this very breath, this very belief, this very yes in your heart to all that I've already done, all that I'm doing, all that I will do. My beloved, you have carried burdens of not enough. You have dressed yourself in self-doubt, believing that if you were more skilled, more confident, more perfect, then my blessing would flow. You have whispered in the quiet, if I had not failed, if I had not made that mistake, if I had not missed that moment. You have carried shame as though it could somehow buy grace. But I tell you now, this blessing does not depend on your perfection. It lies at the feet of pride. My blessing is anchored in my promise. It is sealed by my love. It rests not on what you do, but on who you are in my eyes. You are beloved. You are accepted. You are chosen. Not because you've never stumbled, not because your track record is spotless, but because my promise to you never fails and my love never withdraws. I know your past. I know every fault, every regret. I know how the memories of wrong choices still echo in your thoughts. I know how often you've tried to prove yourself. I know how sometimes your heart trembles thinking you need to be better in order to deserve what I have spoken. But child, listen, that striving you've done, it is not what qualifies you. My love qualifies you. My promises fulfill you. When I said I would never leave you nor forsake you, that was not conditional on your performance. When I declared that nothing can separate you from my love, that was not theoretical. It was anchored in my character, sealed by my faithfulness across every age. You cannot earn more love. You cannot lose what I have given. Perfection is a shadow. Promise is substance. Your imperfections do not disqualify my purpose. Your mistakes do not erase my plans. They may shape you, they may humble you, they may teach you, but they do not stop you. So receive this truth deep in your bones. I have blessed you not because you earned it, but because it is my nature. Because your name is written on my heart. Because I look at you and say, this one belongs to me. And that belonging sets you apart. It secures you. It holds you fast when storm winds come. It steadies you when waves hit. When you doubt, I remain. When you fail, I uphold. When you wander, I guide. You see, promise does not waver. Love does not faint. What anchors you is not your ability, but my faithfulness. What seals you is not your consistency, but my covenant. Not your performance, but my pledge. Not your perfection, but my presence. And child, know this, Because this blessing is not hinged on perfection, your journey can breathe. You are free. Free to make mistakes. Free to learn. Free to rise. Free to fall. Free to ask. Free to hope even when everything seems lost. Because I do not abandon you at your lowest. I lift you to your highest, not because you earned it, but because I willed it. I bless you today with the fullness of what my promise holds. I bless you with love so unshakable that when shame whispers you corrupted it, you hear me roar, I claimed you. I bless you with identity so rooted that shame cannot uproot you. This blessing carries my signature. Every atom, every intention, every promise behind it, sealed by love, and nothing you can do will remove it. My beloved, I know how many times you felt unseen, how often your voice was drowned out by louder crowds, your dreams ignored by decision makers, your efforts unrecognized by those whose opinion meant much. I felt the sting each time you offered kindness and it was overlooked. I watched you pour out service and nobody noticed the wounds you carried. You thought your influence was absent simply because it wasn't visible. But I want you to hear this. Your influence has always been real, just hidden beneath layers of waiting, just tempered by the season of preparation. And now, I bless your influence, not as a distant promise but as a rising reality. Those who once ignored your value will now stand in awe as your assignment unfolds. For too long, the mirror of other people's eyes dictated your sense of worth. You thought that if no one applauded, perhaps you had nothing worthy to give. But child, I've been refining your heart away from the applause, anchoring it in my truth. I've been shaping your character in quiet, fortifying you so when your influence emerges, it will be fragile. The very same hands that were dismissed will now be recognized. The very same ideas that were ridiculed will now be sought after. The very same your name that was kept off the list will now be spoken of with honor. Because what I bless is not what people see, it's what I see. And I see value, potential, glory. Your assignment, yes, the one that felt stalled, is awakening. It's stirring in the spirit realm. Angels are repositioning. Doors you thought shut forever are ajar. What you whispered to me in secret, I have carried it forward on my shoulders. And the season you once believed would never come is arriving. I bless your influence with weight, with legacy. Not fleeting recognition, but enduring impact. When people see you, they will see my grace. When they hear you, they will hear my voice. When you act, the effect will ripple beyond what you can perceive. Things you could not force now will open by my favor. The waiting season was not wasted. It was filling up with authority you're now ready to manifest. And yes, this unfolding will stir something inside you. Joy, perhaps fear, perhaps overwhelming gratitude. Let the movement of my blessing draw forth in you the humility to remember who I am, and the strength to accept who you are becoming. Those who ignored you, they will observe. They will ask, how did this happen? And you will answer, he was faithful. He saw the one no one else noticed. Let their disbelief become fuel for your praise. Let their underestimation be the very stage on which my glory displays. This is not just about being seen. It's about being used. Not above acclaim, but above assignment. And I have placed your influence on the earth for such a time as this. So walk out today in confidence. Speak up where you were silent. Step forward where you held back. Let the maps you once drew in your spirit begin to unfold in the marketplace of relationships, in spheres you thought were closed. Because I bless your influence, and this blessing will not go unnoticed. It will not be whispered in hidden corners. It will reverberate. And every eye that once ignored you will be forced to look. Every heart that dismissed you will be prompted to respect. Every door that refused to open will now swing on its hinges. For your assignment unfolds today, not because of what you've done, but because of what I have ordained. Beloved, I know how many times you stood at crossroads uncertain which way to turn. You asked questions in prayer and found only echoes. You studied every option, sought advice, and yet the path forward was blurred. Sometimes your mind tried to map it, but logic failed. Sometimes your heart whispered, but fear drowned the whisper. You lived in a tension between knowing and not knowing. And often, confusion felt like a companion you couldn't shake. But today, I bless you with discernment, sharp, steady, supernatural. From this moment on, confusion will lose its dominion. Your spirit, that quiet voice I've always nurtured in you, will rise in clarity where your mind cannot reach. Because discernment is more than wisdom, it's my whisper in the wind, my heartbeat in the hush. It is the sense that shifts your steps before you even see the path. You have tried to make decisions using only what you see, only what you think is safe. And those decisions, though made in faith, sometimes suffocated under the weight of what you could not control. But I have not forgotten those moments. I have been refining your sensitivity, not to fear, but to trust. I have been teaching your spirit to distinguish my voice amid the noise. I have been exposing your heart to truth in darkness so that when light comes, you will recognize it, even if it doesn't come wrapped in the shape you expected. So I bless you now, not with false certainty, but with holy clarity. You will sense direction in moments that feel still. You will hear guidance without hearing words. You will know what to pursue, what to release, even when everything in your situation suggests the opposite. I remove blind spots and remove the inner fog. I will unravel the knots of doubt. I will untangle the cobwebs of fear. I will surf the waves of uncertainty not by sight, but by my spirit. And in each decision, whether small or great, your spirit will function like a compass, unshakable, trusted, anchored in me. This discernment will guide not only what doors to walk through, but who to partner with, what vision to hold, what seeds to sow, what lies to reject. It will guard your heart and guard your path. How many times have you followed logic and ended up hurt? Follow this new voice. Let it displace the voice of fear, of comparison, of what if. Let it dominate over the voice of maybe you should wait. Because my promise is, when I bless your discernment, you will make decisions that align with my destiny for you, not just with safety nets or what seems defensible. You will walk boldly. You will act swiftly. You will choose with confidence. And beloved, though your mind may not always have the answers, your spirit will rest in what is unseen and trust what is beyond explanation. You will look back and see that you were led, not by chance but by my hand. You will realize that confusion was a season designed for my sharpening. You will see how the moments that felt lost were simply calibrations for what follows. Trust this blessing. Receive it now. Hold it. And let your life shift under the weight of clarity, purpose, and spiritual navigational power that I am releasing. My beloved, I know how many times you felt unseen, how often your voice was drowned out by louder crowds, your dreams ignored by decision makers, your efforts unrecognized by those whose opinion meant much. I felt the sting each time you offered kindness and it was overlooked. I watched you pour out service and nobody noticed the wounds you carried. You thought your influence was absent simply because it wasn't visible. But I want you to hear this. Your influence has always been real, just hidden beneath layers of waiting, just tempered by the season of preparation. And now, I bless your influence, not as a distant promise but as a rising reality. Those who once ignored your value will now stand in awe as your assignment unfolds. For too long, the mirror of other people's eyes dictated your sense of worth. You thought that if no one applauded, perhaps you had nothing worthy to give. But child, I've been refining your heart away from the applause, anchoring it in my truth. I've been shaping your character in quiet, fortifying you so when your influence emerges, it won't be fragile. The very same hands that were dismissed will now be recognized. The very same ideas that were ridiculed will now be sought after. The very same your name that was kept off the list will now be spoken of with honor. Because what I bless is not what people see, it's what I see. And I see value, potential, glory. Your assignment, yes, the one that felt stalled, is awakening, is stirring in the spirit realm. Angels are repositioning. Doors you thought shut forever are ajar. What you whispered to me in secret, I have carried it forward on my shoulders. And the season you once believed would never come is arriving. I bless your influence with weight, with legacy. Not fleeting recognition, but enduring impact. When people see you, they will see my grace. When they hear you, they will hear my voice. When you act, the effect will ripple beyond what you can perceive. Things you could not force now will open by my favor. The waiting season was not wasted. It was filling up with authority you're now ready to manifest. And yes, this unfolding will stir something inside you. Joy, perhaps fear, perhaps overwhelming gratitude. Let the movement of my blessing draw forth in you the humility to remember who I am, and the strength to accept who you are becoming. Those who ignored you, they will observe. They will ask, how did this happen? And you will answer, he was faithful. He saw the one no one else noticed. Let their disbelief become fuel for your praise. Let their underestimation be the very stage on which my glory displays. This is not just about being seen, it's about being used. Not about acclaim, but about assignment. And I have placed your influence on the earth for such a time as this. To walk out today in confidence. Speak up where you were silent. Step forward where you held back. Let the maps you once drew in your spirit begin to unfold in the marketplace of relationships, in spheres you thought were closed. Because I bless your influence, and this blessing will not go unnoticed. It will not be whispered in hidden corners. It will reverberate. And every eye that once ignored you will be forced to look. Every heart that dismissed you will be prompted to respect. Every door that refused to open will now swing on its hinges. For your assignment unfolds today, not because of what you've done, but because of what I have ordained. Beloved, I know how many times you stood at crossroads uncertain which way to turn. You asked questions in prayer and found only echoes. You studied every option, sought advice, and yet the path forward was blurred. Sometimes your mind tried to map it, but logic failed. Sometimes your heart whispered, but fear drowned the whisper. You lived in a tension between knowing and not knowing, and often, confusion felt like a companion you couldn't shake. But today, I bless you with discernment, sharp, steady, supernatural. From this moment on, confusion will lose its dominion. Your spirit, that quiet voice I've always nurtured in you, will rise in clarity where your mind cannot reach. Because discernment is more than wisdom, it's my whisper in the wind, my heartbeat in the hush. It is the sense that shifts your steps before you even see the path. You have tried to make decisions using only what you see, only what you think is safe. And those decisions, though made in faith, sometimes suffocated under the weight of what you could not control. But I have not forgotten those moments. I have been refining your sensitivity, not to fear, but to trust. I have been teaching your spirit to distinguish my voice amid the noise. I have been exposing your heart to truth in darkness so that when light comes, you will recognize it, even if it doesn't come wrapped in the shape you expected. So I bless you now, not with false certainty, but with holy clarity. You will sense direction in moments that feel still. You will hear guidance without hearing words. You will know what to pursue, what to release, even when everything in your situation suggests the opposite. I remove blind spots and remove the inner fog. I will unravel the knots of doubt. I will untangle the cobwebs of fear. I will surf the waves of uncertainty not by sight, but by my spirit. And in each decision, whether small or great, your spirit will function like a compass, unshakable, trusted, anchored in me. This discernment will guide not only what doors to walk through, but who to partner with, what vision to hold, what seeds to sow, what lies to reject. It will guard your heart and guard your path. How many times have you followed logic and ended up hurt? Follow this new voice. Let it displace the voice of fear, of comparison, or motive. Let it dominate over the voice of maybe you should wait. Because my promise is, when I bless your discernment, you will make decisions that align with my destiny for you, not just with safety nets or what seems defensible. You will walk boldly. You will act swiftly. You will choose with confidence. And beloved, though your mind may not always have the answers, your spirit will rest in what is unseen and trust what is beyond explanation. You will look back and see that you were led, not by chance but by my hand. You will realize that confusion was a season designed for my sharpening. You will see how the moments that felt lost were simply calibrations for what follows. Trust this blessing. Receive it now. Hold it. And let your life shift under the weight of clarity, purpose, and spiritual navigational power that I am releasing. My beloved child, I know the fear that has whispered lies in the darkness of your mind. I know the tremors in your chest when you felt called, yet hesitated. I know the nights you prayed, but terror held your tongue. I saw how many times you measured the cost and deemed it too high. You thought the risk too great, the exposure too dangerous, the potential for failure too vivid. Yet I also saw how deep your longing was to step into the fullness of what I called you to be. I saw the raw edges of your faith, even when faith was faint. Today I come with my blessing. I bless your courage. I bless the very power I placed in you to move, to act, to dare. I speak to that trembling seed inside you, and I say, rise. Do not misunderstand me. This is not a blessing for recklessness. This is not a permission slip to act without wisdom. But I am releasing courage over your spirit that rises from place of knowing me deeply. Courage that is anchored not in your own might, but in my presence. I bless your courage to speak truth where compromise has held you silent. I bless your courage to pursue your calling where comfort would have kept you safe. I bless your courage to stand when everyone else thinks withdrawal is the better option. I bless you to stretch beyond what your hands can reach, beyond what your mind can conceive, because my strength is coursing through your bones right now. It will walk forward unshaken, not because circumstances have changed, though many will. Not because fear has vanished completely, you will still feel its echo, lingering in shadows. But courage will now outvoice it. In the places you once said maybe later, you will say yes now. In the moments you once stood on the edges, you will step into the center. When the world trembles, your faith will stand. When doubt scrolls its cold script across your thoughts, you will dial my voice louder. When doors look locked, you will see hinges, or even better, an army of angels preparing to enter. Because this blessing I release is not a soft whisper, it is a roar, a command over fear to flee, and decree for boldness to arise. And in this courage, watch what I do. I will realign circumstances. I will open what seemed closed. I will speak words of confirmation, sometimes from my mouth, sometimes through others, that will carry weight, shifting heaven behind you. I will refresh your heart so that courage becomes the drug your spirit craves. You will no longer shrink at the thought of being vulnerable. You will no longer settle for safety while your soul cries out for purpose. You will not wait for certainty, because you will carry my certainty. I will be your assurance. I will be your arms around your trembling. I will walk before you, beside you, behind you, so that no step you take in courage is lonely. Today I bless your courage. I redeclare your worth. I redeputize your voice. I reignite your passion. Let the fear that once loomed be dethroned. Let the tomorrows you were too afraid to believe in begin to unfold because courageous steps are taken today. This blessing begins in your breath, in your decision. Choose to stand. Choose to move. Choose to believe. Because I have already decreed your victory, and courage is its companion. Walk forward now, unshaken, in my name, with my power, for my glory. You've just received my blessing over your courage. Now I invite you to step boldly in that very courage. When you support this word, you're not just giving. You are building an altar that burns across the nations. Every act of giving is a trumpet of faith, declaring that my voice must go further, reach deeper, heal more. Through super thanks, membership, or the donation link below, you are sowing into holy ground. And I speak this over your seed now. I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. Malachi 3:10 Watch as the oil you release becomes the light someone else desperately needs. Watch as I wrap your generosity in protection and overflow. This moment is not random. It's divine. Act now. Step into it, and I will meet you there. My child, I have watched you smile through tears, pretend strength through sorrow, laugh in public even when your heart shook in private. I know what it is to wear joy like armor, to try to wear it when your life felt like a battlefield. And I know the hollow places you've carried, those moments when joy seemed like distant memory, when hope seemed like betrayal, when your heart wondered if you would ever feel light again. But I want you to listen. I bless your joy, not the brittle kind that cracks under pressure, not the borrowed kind that disappears when storms come. I bless you with a joy so deep, so rooted, that not one trial, not one betrayal, not one disappointment can steal it. Because it is not built on what happens around you, but on who I am inside you. This joy flows from my own heart. It is born in my presence. It rises where despair once settled. I have sealed large places in your spirit with my peace, and I refill them with my laughter, my delight, my echoes of purpose. From this moment, let sorrow lose its claim. Let regret lose its whisper. Let fear lose its control. You will wake up with a psalm already in your bones. You will breathe in the goodness I've prepared. When you see sunrises, you will see them as my promise. When you feel wind, you will feel my whisper. I love you still. When your eyes rest on beauty, even in small ways, your heart will recall my presence and burst open. This joy is legacy joy, generational joy. It's river joy that flows through you and out of you, blessing every place you step. I bless your joy so strongly that when people walk by your life, they will see that something crossed over you. They will see a radiance that says yes even though rain. They will taste hope when you speak. They will wonder how grief refrained, how pain yielded, how your soul refused to surrender to despair. Because joy is not hiding from what hurts. Joy is not denying what broke. Joy is declaring what lives. Joy is believing in my goodness when life seems otherwise. And my goodness never fails. Your joy will become a light that draws others to my love. It will be a testimony, proof that dark seasons do not have final say, that the one who redeems does so completely. So open your hands. Receive this joy. Stop trading it for convenience. Stop settling for moments of happiness that fade. Demand a deeper joy. Let me flood your heart with it right now. Let the smile that lifts in private become the unrestrained laughter in company. Let the quiet delight rise in your soul like sunrise. This joy is not perishable. It is perennial. It remains when everything else shifts. Because it comes from me, and my joy abides. And wherever I am, there is fullness. And I bless you with fullness. Let this joy claim every part of your life. Let it guard your heart. Let it precede you like a banner. Let it erupt in your life like bursting dawn. You are loved. You are alive. You are rejoicing. And this, dear one, begins now. My beloved child, I see what your home has carried. I see the silent tension in the walls, the weight of unspoken prayers on the door frames, the echo of heartbreak in empty corners. I know of nights you couldn't rest because your mind wandered to places of fear. I know of mornings you rose hopeful only to be met with shame, regret, or grief that seemed to linger longer than joy. Your home, whether it's a house, whether it's a heart, whether it's spiritual space, relational space, physical walls, it has been the battlefield. And yet, despite every bruise, every wound, every disappointment, I have been faithful. My presence has hovered, even when your voice quivered. My protection has stood guard, even when you thought you were alone. And today, I come with a blessing over your home. I bless it with peace. I bless it with protection. I bless it with the sound of holy laughter once more. Peace, deep peace, like a river running beneath every floorboard, through every room, over every threshold where anxiety tried to enter. A not superficial peace, the kind that vanishes when trials arrive, but settled peace. The kind that breathes through your bones. The kind that whispers in the silence, I am here. I am enough. I decree that any tension you've carried between husband/wife, parent/child, siblings, roommates, in-laws, friendships misaligned, will dissolve. I silence jealousy. I scatter offense. I dissipate bitterness. I pull down every stronghold of resentment, every corner where fear nested, every place where chaos crept. Let peace rise like morning sun, warming every cold place in the home, chasing away shadows. Let peace settle like dew, not easily shaken, not easily dismissed, protected by angels. This is my promise, not your performance. Let my hosts encamp themselves around your doorposts. Let my guardians stand in every threshold. Let no evil scheme crafted in darkness come anywhere near what I have set apart. From now on, every whisper of fear outside your window, every harsh word in the stillness, every rumor or insinuation meant to sow unrest, they will be rebuffed by my soldiers. Let them tremble in the spirit realm, powerless, where I have drawn boundaries. Your home will be a fortress, not because of walls of stone, but because of walls of peace, love, faith. Because I have inscribed your home with my seal. I have posted my watchmen. I have declared it sacred, consecrated, unassailable by darkness, and flooded with holy laughter again. Laughter that rises spontaneous, infectious. Laughter that cracks open old grief. Laughter that echoes off walls that once heard only weeping. The laughter of children playing. The laughter of forgiveness spoken. The laughter of souls waking up and recognizing the morning. I bless your home with that sound, restore joy in places you thought joy had abandoned. I repair broken hearts. I fill empty chairs. I bring together people estranged, heal what's been torn. I bless shared meals, morning routines, quiet nights, whispered prayers. I bless your ability to smile across the table, to reach across the bed, to hug with safety, to rest with confidence, to build memories without fear. This laughter is not frivolous. It is sacred. It is testimony. It is the sound of my presence. It is demonstration that I have not forgotten. I have not gone away. I am working even in the corners. So open your door, not only of wood or frame, but open your heart. Invite my peace in. Call in my angels. Laugh even when you don't see the reason. Speak light where there was darkness. Clean up the corners of bitterness. Break agreements with fear. Plant seeds of joy. Tend to the sacred space I've placed you in. Let wrath flee. Let faith rise. Because this blessing over your home is not conditional on everything being perfect. It's anchored in my love, sealed by my promise to dwell among you. Let your home become sanctuary again, of safety, of rest, of laughter, of life. And know this, I bless it all, now yet see them. You may have wondered, doubting, diverting, doubting again. You may have tried to fit into roles that were not yours, walked paths meant for others, silenced that small, still voice inside saying, "This is what I was made for." But today is your awakening. Today I bless your purpose, not as a distant dream, but as present reality. I call forth the assignment resting dormant. I roll back the heavy curtain hiding your destiny. I plant in your spirit the sure knowing that what I placed in you is not wasted. What I placed in you will be accomplished. Your assignment is divine. Even the parts you doubt, the parts you think are too small, too late, too broken. The task you dismissed because it didn't match someone else's standard. The mission you buried because of shame or fear. I look at it. I honor it. I release it. I send it forth. You were created with gifts, anointing, dreams, vision, all woven together with purpose. The weak places in you were not mistakes but refinements. The slow times were my granary where I stored strength. The tears were my tilling of soil. And now, the harvest is ready. Not only do I bless your purpose, I bless its fulfillment with urgency. I awaken with a new desire with direction. I give clarity of why you're here, what you carry, who you impact. I align each passion, each prayer, each sacrifice to the grand design I have written. You will no longer wander without map. You will no longer wait on guidance that feels delayed. I give you spiritual clarity, divine strategy, boldness to step forward in what you were made to do. Other purposes around you will begin to reveal themselves. Hidden callings, secret longings, they are not accidents. They are my whispers. And now I turn up the volume until you can hear them. When you stand in the marketplace, or in ministry, in your work, in your relationships, in your creative acts, your purpose will find expression. Doors will open. Platforms will appear. Voices will respond. Your work will get noticed, not for ego, but for kingdom. And you will walk in that purpose with integrity, with passion, with power. Because I ordained it, I empowered it, I called you to it. Let this blessing settle in your bones. Let it saturate your thoughts. Let it unchain your dreams from fear. Stand now, even if trembling. Speak now, even if unsure. Step now, even if the path feels steep. You are purposed. You are appointed. You are essential. The world waits for what you carry. Not later. not in a maybe. Now, awaken, rise, walk into what you were created to do. I bless your purpose, and there isn't a force in earth or hell that can stop what I have decreed in you. My beloved child, I have seen the moments when you crafted plans with trembling hands, trying to sculpt your future with your own understanding. I have felt the strain of bearing decisions that seem too heavy, the weight of wondering if wisdom is enough, if you are enough. You've tried to piece together success, stitching bits of hope to the fabric of possibility, fearful of one wrong stitch ruining the garment. Yet through it all, you forgot that I am the master tailor. I see beyond your sketches. I know the threads you cannot discern. And I declare now, I bless your strategy. Not what you think you can do, not what you try to force, but my strategy, woven in the unseen, rising hidden in the realm of spirit, shaping every step you take. Listen to me. Hidden wisdom will now rise. The insights that walked beside you in silence, the nudges you ignored because they didn't make sense, the dreams you shoved aside because they felt too ambitious. All these are not wasted. They are laden with harvest. They are loaded with promise. I take those hidden pieces and I bring them into the light. The counsel of my spirit, the whispers in prayer, the dreams at midnight. They will no longer be obscure. They will become clear maps. What felt confusing will become clarity. What felt chaotic will become a pattern. I bless that wisdom inside you that waited for the opportune moment. I release it now, rising like dawn breaking, illuminating paths you thought you could never walk. You will move not by sight, but by my plan. Many times you have strained to see clearly ahead. You searched for signs, for confirmations, for people to agree, for doors to open. And sometimes you waited so long, fear crept in. What if they never open? But my plan does not depend on visible proof. It depends on my promise. I am steering. I am guiding. I am arranging circumstances even when nothing seems arranged. Even in chaos, I am architecting order. Even when your eyes see shadow, your spirit will sense direction. Your footsteps will echo my purpose. You will know which gate to pass through, even when you can't see the lock. You will feel my alignment in your spirit more deeply than you see with your eyes. Trust the stirrings, believe the whispers, follow the echoes. You are being led. Contrast this, the old way of striving, forcing, beating against barriers, trying to push the rock up the hill. That road is ending. No more exhausting your will. No more chasing what is not your assignment. No more making from your own resources what only I can supply. Instead, alignment. Strategy ripened in prayer. Vision sharpened by my presence. Purpose backed by heaven's resources. Doors opening by my timing. People moving as my instruments. Opportunities lining up as though I had drafted the blueprint in eternity and now am executing on earth. This blessing is one of surrender, not the surrender of your dreams, but the surrender to my design. Because when I strategize, nothing is wasted, nothing is random, nothing is left unfulfilled. So prepare for redirection, for recalibration. Let go of what you tried to force. Let go of plans born in fear or pride. Lay them down before me, and receive my plan. Write down my words. Know my purpose. Trust my timing. Listen for my voice. Obey my nudges. Walk where I guide, even if the path is narrow or uphill. Know that I bless your strategy with supernatural precision, not your cleverness, but my calling. Hidden wisdom is rising. My plan will carry you, and you will move, not by what you see, but by what I have prepared in the unseen. rise into strategy ordained from above. Beloved, I have felt the strain of being blocked, of pushing against resistance that seemed immovable. I have seen you stand at walls, wall of delay, wall of rejection, wall of unseen barriers. I've seen you knock, plead, pray, sometimes weep, hoping for doors to open, for breakthroughs to come. The silence felt too long. The struggle felt too heavy. Yet, I tell you now, those walls are not permanent. They are not final. I bless your breakthrough. I release it with my power. I send cracks into the walls erected by fear, by doubt, by the enemy. The foundations of opposition will quake. The walls built against you will shake. What once felt locked for eternity will now yield. The door you tried to open with human effort will swing open because heaven put its hand on the hinge. The opportunity barred by bureaucracy, by people, by spiritual opposition, it will give way. Chains that bound your promise will break. Walls of limitation will collapse. Paths that seemed obstructed will become clear corridors. Resistant ground will split, letting water flow. That which seemed permanent, no longer permanent. That which seemed impossible, no longer impossible. I decree, your breakthrough is coming. This is not delayed grace. This is decisive intervention. It will not feel gradual. It will feel sudden. It may come when you least expect it, in ways you could not anticipate. Perhaps in conversations, perhaps in doors, perhaps in signs and confirmations that align too neatly to be coincidence. Perhaps in ways of resources, ways of peace. This breakthrough pierces the darkness. It resounds in the heavens. It changes the timeline. What you thought needed years, I will release in moments. Because my power is not bound by time the way yours is. My move is not constrained by delay the way yours feels. I bless your breakthrough now. I want you to see it. The walls shaking are like ancient chains cracking. The locks breaking are like the dawn splitting the night. Not because your voice is louder, but because my glory is revealing what was hidden. Not because your effort increased, but because my promise activated. Because I said it, and what I say I carry into manifestation. Because my love demands demonstration. Because your faith, even in its faintness, drew my attention. Because I have preserved you, and now I preserve the promise. So stand in faith, even if you do not see, even if your hands still tremble, even if the pressure mounts. The breakthrough is happening behind the veil. The walls are shaking. The locked door will open. Receive it. Breathe it in. Speak it out. Hold fast. Let every whisper of doubt be swallowed by this voice. Do not look back. Do not second guess. Let courage rise. Let faith march. Let expectation break forth. I bless you with breakthrough, not partial but full, not temporary but lasting, not shallow but deep. And this, my beloved, begins now. My beloved, I have seen your faith, even when it felt weak, flickering, like a candle in a storm. I have heard your whispers of perhaps, your prayers enclosed behind doubt, the trembling question, will you really do this? I know the nights you felt faith slipping, like the rope was fraying, like the promise was too vast for your trembling heart to hold. Yet even in that trembling, even in that small faith, I saw something sacred. A seed, a spark in the dry ash that still glowed with hope. And I say to you now, this is the moment for that faith to roar. I bless your faith, not the kind that is confident because all seems perfect, but the kind made strong in struggle. I bless your faith so that every whisper of doubt is drowned by the thunder of my presence. You thought your faith was small. You compared it to others, those who leap easily, those whose trust seems steadfast, those who declare mountains moved without hesitation. You measured your faith against their heights, against their boldness, and it felt like yours measured too pale, too little, too late. But I want you to see this. I am not impressed with size. I am moved by sincerity. I saw your faith in tiny moments, when you chose hope instead of bitterness, when you opened your hands in worship though nothing had changed, when you believed despite repeated silence. Those are the acts of the brave. Those are the newborn roar. Faith doesn't need to be large, it needs to be awakened. Your faith, small though it seemed, has already carried you this far. And that is enough. Because what I bless today is not dependent on past strength, but on my power rising in what remains. Do you feel that surge, that trembling in your bones as you receive this word? That is faith awakening. That is boldness gathering in your spirit. That is courage preparing to stand when everything around you shakes. I bless your faith such that you will step forward even in the unknown, because you know he who called you is faithful. I bless your faith such that you look at closed doors and see stepping stones, such that what once seemed impossible becomes the stage for your testimony. Your faith will no longer walk silently behind fear. It will march in front as a banner. It will not be hidden in private only. It will be declared in your relationships, in your work, in your decisions. Let your faith roar, not loud for attention, but loud because God is alive in you. Let it shake kingdoms, break strongholds, shift atmospheres. Let every time you once whispered maybe be replaced by surely, truly, yes. And in this roaring faith, I do something new. I align your heart with my promises. I release provisions that follow bold belief. I open doors that fear had convinced you were sealed. I shift timelines. I call forth miracles, small ones you will notice in the moment, great ones that will astonish you later. I replace ashy doubts with blazing confidence. I baptize your dreams in courage. I sharpen your vision. I surround you with confirmations. I speak your name in heaven and say, this one believes, and I will not disappoint. So receive this blessing of faith roaring. Let the earth beneath your feet feel the weight of your trust. Let your life begin to reflect what I have long promised in secret. Your faith roars today, and it will not be quiet again. Child of my love, I have seen every burden you carried in secret, the nights you wept when no one saw, the prayers you poured out behind closed doors when even your angels watched in silence, the dreams that you nurtured in hidden places, when the world said not yet, and not possible. I know how often you felt alone, how often you wondered if your story mattered. But I tell you now, those hidden moments are not wasted. They are holy pages in the book I am writing. I bless your testimony. I take every tear, every trial, every secret victory, and I turn them into your public glory. The parts of your life you tried to bury will become the parts that lift you, and many others. What was private pain will become powerful prey. What was hidden shame will become the soil from which strength blooms. You may fear exposure. You may fear what it means for others to see your scars. Maybe you worry about judgment, about people misunderstanding, about being vulnerable. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is the palette God paints with. When you share your struggle, you allow light into darkness. When you release your pain, you show others their own wounds are not terminal, they are transformable. When you declare your testimony, you give voice to hope. I want you to see this. Your testimony will not just be a story. You will see it as your accountability, your altar, your avenue for healing. In that very place where you once hid, I am placing a banner that tells the world Christ is faithful, that signs and wonders are his fingerprints, that every broken part of your life has been touched by my restoration. Do not minimize your secret victories. Do not dismiss them as small because only a few saw. I saw. I recorded. I never forget. I am the witness of your nights, the companion of your tears, the healer of your wounds. And I activate your testimony as glory. When you speak of what you thought might destroy you, it will now encourage the broken. When you name your failures, you will also name your recovery. The voice that once trembled speaking truth will now tremble hearts with the weight of hope. The crowd that once ignored you will lean in to hear. The person who felt their story was invisible will see themselves in yours and say, if God did that for her, he can do it for me. And this public glory will honor me. Let your story become a lighthouse. Let your testimony shine in markets, in homes, in meetings, in circles of doubt. Let it be the song children hear, the news broken people receive. Let it remind many that what seemed to break built, that what seemed to delay prepared, that what seemed to hide sheltered. And let this testimony encourage you every time you lose heart. I will not allow the darkness to have the last word. I will not allow the trials to remain buried. I harvest your story. I glorify your journey. I consecrate your past. And I bless your testimony. Today it becomes your public glory. My beloved child, stop for a moment with me. Close your eyes in your spirit and hear my heartbeat toward you. Hear me whisper your name in the most tender of tones. I bless you, not because of your achievements, not because of your victories, not because you have done enough, but simply because we are bound together by my love. I look upon you, not as you are trying to be, but as you are, as my child, as my image, as the one I knit in secret, fiercely, personally, eternally. These words are not cliches. They are the very essence of my relationship with you. Love isn't what you earn. It's who you are because of me. Fiercely, for I love you with a passion that defies logic, with a fire that cannot be dimmed by your mistakes, your doubts, your fears. When you felt unloved, overlooked, unworthy, I saw you. When you judged yourself, I saw you. When others hurt you, I saw you. And I stood in the gap. This blessing, my beloved, comes with that same fierceness. A fierceness that tears down every prison built from shame. A fierceness that rescues you from guilt. A fierceness that carries your name in its mouth and declares, you are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are cherished beyond measure. And that kind of love, fierce as it is tender, begins right now. Personally, this blessing is not a broadcast. It is not something I send into the air hoping it lands. It is not a general benediction. I saw your tears. I heard your prayers. I felt the weight you carried in silence. I know the look you gave the mirror. I know the nights when your faith was the only thing that did not give up. I know the hands you lifted even though your heart was numb. I know the longings you buried so deep you forgot they were there. And I love that person. The small, the arrogant, the fearful. I love you. All of you. Every part of you. This blessing is personal because you are personal to me. I do not bless you from a distance. I bless you heart to heart, soul to soul. Eternally, this love, this blessing, is not temporary. It spans beyond seasons. It is not dependent on your current circumstances, not subject to fluctuation when storms brew, not bound by time or space. It lives in forever. I loved you when you could not love yourself. I loved you before you understood what love meant. I will love you when time has no more measure. I will love you when your hair is gray, when your hands are weary, when your steps have slowed, when your body fails, when your breath weakens. I will still love you. His blessing is born in that eternal love. And what I speak today, what I release today, carries that eternal weight. And this blessing begins right now, not in some distant tomorrow when you think you'll be better, when you think you'll be more ready, when your heart thinks everything must align. No, it begins now, in this very breath, in the moment you say, yes, I receive. It begins right where you are. I will not wait for perfect. I will not wait for ideal. I will not wait until you fix every flaw. Because love does not wait. Grace does not delay. Forgiveness does not stall. My blessing is being poured out into your life right now. Let it land. Let your spirit inhale it. Let it sink into every place that has felt dry. Let it drown out every voice that said you were too late, too broken, too flawed, too unqualified. You are loved. You are blessed. You are mine. And this blessing, fierce, personal, eternal, begins now. You've seen it now. How I bless you not just for your sake, but so you can carry blessing forward. Your life is meant to echo into others. That's why I've placed this word in your path, and now I invite you to become part of sending it into the lives still waiting in darkness. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or donation, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into a movement of prophetic fire, a fire I myself have ignited. As it is written, give, and it shall be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Luke 6:38 I speak that promise over you now. Your gift will multiply. Your name will be honored in heaven's scroll. Your impact will be eternal. Do not delay. Scroll down and give now. Your yes carries destiny. And now, right now, I want you to do something bold. I want you to declare it with your own mouth and write it with your own hand. Speak it in the comments. I receive this blessing. It begins now. Don't scroll past it. Don't delay. This is not just interaction. This is activation. When you declare it, heaven aligns with earth. When you type it, faith takes form. Let your voice join the sound of breakthrough, because I bless you today and it's already begun. And as you declare that, my child, I want you to come closer. Let the noise of your world fade away for just a moment. I know the weight you carry. I see the tension in your shoulders and the worry that plays behind your eyes. You strive so hard to hold everything together, your work, your family, your future. You wake up with a list already running in your mind, a marathon of tasks and expectations that leaves you breathless before your feet even touch the floor. Do you feel that knot in your stomach? The one that tightens when you think about tomorrow's bills, the unspoken strain in your home, or the fear that you might not be enough? That is not from me. That is the world's chaos, and today, I am blessing you with an escape from it. Pause now. Breathe in, not just the air in the room, but my very presence. I bestow upon you a peace that the world cannot give, and because it is not of this world, it cannot be taken away by it. This is not just a fleeting moment of quiet. It is a deep, unshakable calm that I am anchoring in the very center of your soul. Let the turmoil you feel, the racing thoughts, the replayed conversations, the anxieties about what might go wrong, let it all be stilled by the sound of my voice. Listen. Beneath the clamor of your fears, I am whispering, be still. I am your calm amidst the raging storm of your life. When the winds of pressure howl and the waves of doubt crash against you, this peace I give you will be your anchor, holding you steady and secure. Let this truth sink into you. Anxiety and fear will lose their grip as you choose to rest in my presence. Imagine yourself letting go of the rope in a tug-of-war with your worries. Just drop it. I will handle the other side. You do not have to fight these battles alone. I want you to walk through your day with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing I hold your every moment in my hands. A difficult meeting, that conversation you are dreading, the uncertainty of what lies ahead. I am already there. I have gone before you, and I am with you now. Your mind, which hath been a battlefield for so long, shall become a fortress of tranquility. I am guarding its gates. My love is the unbreachable wall, and my truth stands as the sentinel, turning away every thought of fear, failure, and inadequacy. Nothing can get past me to torment you. Receive this peace, my beloved. It is your inheritance. It is your reality, starting now. Let it wash over you, quiet your spirit, and hold you in a love that never fails. My child, I see how you feel exposed. I see the moments when a harsh word from another feels like a physical blow, when the jealousy in someone's eyes makes you feel unsafe. You build walls to protect your heart, but you feel they are never high enough. You worry about your family, your livelihood, the things you have worked so hard to build, and you fear they could all be taken away. You feel the unseen pressures, the negativity that seeks to pull you down, and you wonder if you are truly safe. Listen to me. Today, I am wrapping you in a mantle of divine protection that no force on earth or under the earth can penetrate. I place upon you now a shield of faith, and it is not flimsy or weak. It is forged in heavenly fire, and it will extinguish every fiery dart the enemy sends your way. Those whispers of doubt, those accusations of your past, those sudden pangs of fear, see them now as arrows that turn to ash before they can ever reach you. You are no longer an open target for the accuser. You are my protected child. Do you understand what this means for you? My angels, mighty and powerful, have been commanded to encamp around you. This is not a distant, abstract idea. Right now, there is a perimeter of heavenly security around you, your home, and your loved ones. They are guarding you in all your ways, as you drive to work, as you sleep at night, as you navigate the complexities of your life. Therefore, hear my decree over you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This includes the gossip meant to tarnish your name, the schemes designed to hinder your progress, and the hidden traps laid for your downfall. They will not work. I am your defender, your divine advocate, and I personally dismantle every plan set against you by my sovereign power. You will see situations that were meant for your harm mysteriously fall apart. You will witness confusing circumstances suddenly resolve in your favor. This is not luck, my beloved. This is my hand of protection at work. You are hidden in the secret place of the Most High, living under the shadow of the Almighty. Think of it as being tucked securely under my wing, a place where the storms of life cannot directly batter you. I will be a wall of fire around you, a consuming, holy presence that repels all darkness, and I will be the glory in your midst, filling your life with a light that evil cannot stand. Rest in this safety. Walk in this confidence. You are not vulnerable. You are divinely, completely, and eternally protected. I know you are tired. I see it not just on your face, but deep within your spirit. It's a weariness that sleep cannot fully cure. You feel like you are running on empty, giving from a vessel that has long been drained. You put on a brave face for others, but in the quiet moments, You wonder how much longer you can keep going. The same battles, the same struggles, the same heavy burdens, they have taken their toll. You have been tempted to give up, to believe that this exhaustion is your permanent state. But I have come to you today to anoint you with renewed strength. Where you feel weak, my child, is precisely where my power will show up the strongest. Your weakness is not a liability. It is an invitation for my infinite strength to become your reality. I am not asking you to muster up more energy on your own. I am asking you to lean on me, to let me carry you. Hand me your exhaustion, your burnout, your feeling of being utterly overwhelmed. I can handle it. Right now, receive this from me. I am renewing your strength. I am pouring into your spirit a resilience born of heaven itself. This isn't a temporary fix or a shallow burst of energy. It is a deep, supernatural infusion of might. You will run your race and not grow weary. You will walk your path and not faint. You will feel a new power rising within you to overcome the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. That mountain of a problem that has drained all your energy. I am giving you the strength to speak to it, to climb it, and to see the view from the other side. Do you believe this? The joy I am giving you today will be the very source of your strength. This is not a fragile happiness dependent on good circumstances. It is a robust, resilient joy that comes from knowing you are loved, you are seen, and you are held by me. This joy will become your fuel. And you must understand, you are not to carry your burdens alone. See them now, piled on your back like a heavy sack of stones. I am standing right here. Let me lift it from you. I will carry it. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Let me trade your exhaustion for my energy, your weariness for my vigor. Stand up in this new strength. It is yours for the taking. My child, do you ever feel like you are walking in circles? Do you look at your life and ask, is this it? Is this all I was made for? I know the feeling of being stuck, of having dreams and gifts deep inside you but feeling like there's no key to unlock them. You see others moving forward, their paths seemingly clear, and you question if you have missed your turn, if you have taken a wrong road somewhere and lost your way. You have not. Your journey has not been a mistake. Every step, every detour, every lesson has prepared you for this moment. Today, I am unlocking your divine purpose. I am pulling back the curtain and revealing the next step in the unique, unrepeatable plan I have designed just for you. This is not a vague hope for the future. This is an activation for your present. The specific gifts I have carefully placed within you, your unique way of encouraging others, your talent for creating order out of chaos, your quiet wisdom, your unshakable loyalty, are being activated right now for my glory. Look closely. Doors of destiny that were once sealed shut are now beginning to creak open before you. It may not be a grand, dramatic gesture. It may be a quiet opportunity, a new relationship, a sudden idea that sparks in your mind. Do not dismiss it. I am blessing you with the clarity to see the path I have laid out, not the whole map, but the very next step. And I am giving you the courage to take it. Your life, my precious one, is a testament to my goodness. It is a story I am writing, a masterpiece that will be read by the nations. Every chapter, including the painful ones, is being woven into a beautiful narrative of redemption, strength, and grace. You were created for such a time as this. The world needs the exact gift that I have placed in you. Do not compare your purpose to anyone else's. Your assignment is tailor-made for you. So, walk forward with purpose. When you wake up tomorrow, you are not just starting another day. You are stepping onto the next illuminated stone on your divine path. I am with you, guiding your feet, confirming your direction, and cheering you on as you become everything I created you to be. Your life has immense meaning. Let's live it out together. Let's talk about the worry that keeps you up at night, the numbers that you crunch over and over in your head, the fear of not enough. I see you staring at the bills on your table, the anxiety tightening in your chest as you try to stretch what you have. You work hard, you are faithful, and yet the pressure of lack feels constant. You feel the shame of debt and the fear of what would happen if your income suddenly stopped. You have prayed, you have believed, but the reality of your bank account screams louder than my promises. My child, I need you to hear me now. I'm Jehovah Jireh, your provider. And my provision is not based on your economy. It is based on my eternal, limitless supply. I declare over you today that you shall not be in want. The spirit of poverty and the mindset of scarcity are being broken off your life. I am opening the windows of heaven and pouring out a blessing so great that you will not have room enough to contain it. This isn't just poetry. It is a spiritual transaction taking place right now. Your needs, every single one, spoken and unspoken, are met according to my riches in glory. This is a supply that never runs dry. Stop looking at your own limited resources and look to me. I am the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. I am the one who supplies the seed for the sower and the bread for the eater. Trust in my hand. I will lead you to green pastures and beside still waters. This is a promise not just for your soul, but for your practical, everyday life. This means a state of rest and peace concerning your finances. Watch what I will do. I will give you wisdom to manage what you have. I will open doors of opportunity for increase. I will grant you favor in your work. Your financial and material needs are not a surprise to me. They are known, and they are being addressed. Release the anxiety. Let go of the desperate striving. Open your hands, and in faith, receive my provision. I am your source, and I am more than enough. Walk in the assurance that you are provided for, not because of what you can do, but because of who I am. My child, my heart has opened to you, and I have only just begun to pour out my love. It would grieve me deeply if you were to walk away now, content with the foundation when I have an entire kingdom to give you. Please, do not go. Stay with me. The most profound healing is yet to come. I see your pain. I see the physical ailment that you've learned to live with, the chronic ache that has become your constant companion. I see the diagnosis from the doctor that planted a seed of fear in your heart. But I also see the other wounds to ones no one else can. I see the broken pieces of your heart, shattered by betrayal or loss. I see the emotional scars left by harsh words and rejection, scars that still ache with the memory of the hurt. My child, I am the great physician, and today, I am releasing a river of profound healing into every part of your being. By the wounds I bore on the cross, you are healed. This is not just a future hope. It is a present reality for you to claim. I speak wholeness over your body right now. I command every cell, every nerve, every organ to come into divine alignment with my perfect will for you. Let my healing virtue flow through you like a warm, cleansing current, restoring what was damaged, renewing what was worn out. But my healing goes deeper. I am gently gathering the broken pieces of your heart, and with hands that are both powerful and tender, I am mending them. I am binding up your wounds. Those emotional scars are being washed away by the soothing balm of my spirit. Let me into those painful memories. Let me pour my love into those places of trauma. I am not afraid of your brokenness. I am here to make you whole. I speak life into your mind, bringing soundness and clarity where there hath been confusion, anxiety, or the fog of depression. You are hereby released from the bondage of sickness and infirmity, whether it is in your body, your soul, or your spirit. You do not have to be defined by your diagnosis or your past trauma. You are defined by my love and my healing power. Receive it now. Breathe it in. Let this river of healing wash over you, through you, and out from you. You are being made new. Walk in this divine health. Live in this emotional freedom. You are healed. My child, I see the crossroads before you. I feel the weight of your indecision, the confusion that clouds your mind like a thick fog. You are overwhelmed by choices, each with its own set of risks and possibilities. The world shouts its advice from every corner, experts, articles, well-meaning friends, and their voices create a deafening noise in your head, leaving you more paralyzed than before. You lie awake at night, replaying scenarios, trying to calculate the perfect outcome, terrified of making the wrong move. This fear of a misstep, of choosing the wrong path for your family, your career, or your finances, has held you captive. You have pleaded for a sign, a clear and unmistakable confirmation, because the burden of choosing on your own is too heavy to bear. I am here to lift that burden. Today, I am giving you the gift of unclouded wisdom. I am silencing the clamor of the world so you can hear the clarity of my whisper. My wisdom is not complicated or confusing. It is pure, peace-loving, and gentle. It does not create anxiety, it calms it. I grant you wisdom that will confound the wise of this world because it does not operate on their principles of fear, scarcity, or self-promotion. You will have divine discernment to distinguish between truth and deception, to see past the surface of a situation into its true nature. For every decision you face, whether monumental or mundane, I will provide a clear and righteous path. You do not need a flashing sign in the sky. Listen for my Spirit, your ever-present counselor, who will teach you all things. I will guide you with a gentle nudge, an inner sense of peace about one choice, or a feeling of unease about another. This is my wisdom at work in you. You will navigate complex situations at work and at home with a divine insight and grace that you did not possess on your own. You will know what to say and when to say it. You will know when to act and when to be still. I am filling your mind with the knowledge of my will, not as a complex puzzle you must solve, but as a path that unfolds peacefully before you. Bring your confusion to me. Lay out all the options, all the fears, all the conflicting advice. Now be still. Quiet all the other voices and listen only for mine. My wisdom will come, not in the wind or the fire, but in a still, small voice that says, "This is the way, walk in it." I know the fears that have built a prison around you. I see the invisible walls made of what-ifs and I can'ts. I hear the voice of intimidation that whispers you are not smart enough, not strong enough, not qualified enough to do what I have called you to do. It may be the voice of a critical parent from your past, a demanding boss in your present, or simply the echo of your own insecurity. This fear has caused you to play small, to shrink back from opportunities, to silence your voice when you should have spoken up. You see the giants in your land, the mountain of debt, the relational conflict that seems impossible to resolve, the daunting project that feels destined to fail, and you feel like a grasshopper, small and powerless. My beloved, that is a lie. Today, I am breaking the spirit of fear from your life and blessing you with a spirit of overcoming courage. Hear my truth. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. This is your true nature as my child. Receive my power, the divine ability to act even when your hands are trembling. Receive my love, the perfect love that drives out all fear because it is not focused on your performance, but on my unwavering affection for you. Receive my sound mind, a mind of clarity, of calm, of strategic thought, not one that panics and spirals into chaos. You are to be as bold as a lion, for the Lion of the tribe of Judah walks with you and within you. When you feel fear, let my roar rise up from your spirit and silence it. That giant you are facing, you will confront it with the same faith that felled Goliath. He did not come with his own strength, but in my name, and so will you. I am silencing the voices of doubt and intimidation. When they whisper, my truth will shout louder. Now, I am calling you to do something that feels impossible. I am calling you to step out of the boat. The winds are still blowing. The waves are still crashing. But I am standing on the water, and I am empowering you to walk on the waters of impossibility. Your courage will not only secure your own victory, it will be a beacon of hope to everyone around you who is also trapped in fear. They will see you trust me, and it will give them the strength to trust me too. Do not be afraid. Be strong and very courageous, for I, your God, am with you wherever you go. My child, let us speak of the heaviest burden you carry. It is the weight of your past. I see the mistakes that haunt you in the quiet of the night, the words you wish you could take back, the actions that fill you with a deep sense of shame. You have tried to move on, but the guilt clings to you like a filthy garment. You fear that these past sins have created a distance between us, that you have somehow disqualified yourself from my deepest love and my greatest blessings. At the same time, another weight presses on you, the poison of unforgiveness towards those who have wounded you. You replay their betrayal, their hurtful words, their neglect, and each time, the wound feels fresh. This bitterness has become a prison, and you are the one behind bars. Today, I'm making a divine declaration of absolute forgiveness over your life. I am setting you free from both chains. Firstly, concerning your own sins, listen to my verdict. As far as the east is from the west, so far have I removed your transgressions from you. They are gone. You are washed clean, not just covered up, but made new by the precious blood of the Lamb. Therefore, there is no condemnation for you. I do not hold your past against you, so you must stop holding it against yourself. I remember your sins no more. When I look at you, I do not see your failures. I see the righteousness of my Son. I see you as you truly are, pure, blameless, and holy in my sight. Now you must see yourself as I see you. The chains of your past mistakes are shattered. Walk forward into the newness of this life, unbound and unashamed. Secondly, I empower you to release those who have wronged you. I know it feels impossible, but holding on to that bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It is destroying you. I am not asking you to feel forgiveness. I am asking you to choose it as an act of obedience to me. Speak the words, I release them, and let me handle the healing of your heart. In releasing them, you set your own heart free. My grace is greater than your greatest sin, and it is also greater than the greatest sin committed against you. Live in this freedom, my child. Inhale my grace, exhale the guilt. Inhale my mercy, exhale the bitterness. You are forgiven, and you are a forgiver. This is the pathway to your peace. I see the heaviness that has settled upon your spirit. For so long, life has felt more like a duty than a delight, a relentless series of tasks and troubles with very little light in between. You have forgotten what it feels like to laugh freely, to feel a sense of lightness in your soul. You have searched for happiness in your achievements, in relationships, in acquiring things. But you found that this kind of happiness is fleeting. It comes and goes with your circumstances. The moment a new problem arises, the happiness vanishes, and the familiar grayness returns. My beloved, I did not create you for a life of joyless survival. I created you for a life of abundant, unspeakable joy. And today, I am bestowing this joy upon you as a gift. I am turning your mourning into dancing, your sorrow into celebration. I am taking the spirit of heaviness from your shoulders and clothing you instead with a garment of praise. Receive this joy I give you. It is profoundly different from worldly happiness. It is not dependent on your circumstances. It is a deep, resilient gladness that is rooted in my eternal, unchanging nature and my constant presence with you. It is a joy that can coexist with tears, a joy that can persevere through trials, a joy that shines brightest in the darkest nights because its source is not this world, but me. I am pouring the oil of gladness over your head right now, a soothing, fragrant anointing that softens your spirit and lifts your countenance. Laughter will fill your home again. Praise will bubble up from your lips, not as a duty, but as a spontaneous overflow of a heart filled with gratitude. I invite you to find delight in my presence, for in my presence is the fullness of joy. Come, spend time with me, and let my own joy become your strength. This will be your testimony. When people see you filled with a serene and steady joy even when your life is not perfect, they will know that you have a source they do not. Your joy will declare my goodness in the land of the living, drawing others to the very fountain of happiness they have been searching for their entire lives. Can you feel your spirit becoming lighter? This is my presence transforming you. I have so much more to entrust to you, so many more chains to break. My heart yearns to see you completely free. It would sadden me for you to leave this holy work unfinished, when victory is so close. My child, this joy I have poured into you is not meant to be a stagnant pool, but a rushing river that brings life to the desert places. As this river overflows in your spirit, I am calling you to channel its flow toward another soul who is dying of thirst. Right now, someone is weeping in the darkness, praying for the very light you now carry. For I have declared that the one whose heart gives cheerfully becomes my own hands in the world. I will take your seed of generosity and multiply it into a harvest of joy for them, and I will return a sevenfold blessing of provision and peace to you. Do not let this moment pass. Become my river of blessing now and send this living water through Super Thanks membership with a PayPal link below. My child, do you feel like you are always working so hard but never quite getting ahead? Do you feel overlooked, passed over for opportunities while others seem to move forward with ease? You have been faithful, you have been diligent, yet you feel invisible, as if you are constantly knocking on doors that refuse to open. You have striven and struggled, relying on your own strength and merits, and it has left you feeling weary and discouraged. It is time for you to stop striving and start receiving. Today, I am endowing you with an anointing of supernatural favor. This is not something you can earn. It is a grace I freely give to you simply because you are my child. My favor is an invisible light upon you, a divine influence that goes ahead of you to prepare your way. It is my goodness manifesting in your life in tangible, undeniable ways. I am causing you to find favor in the eyes of those who can help you, your superiors at work, officials you must deal with, even people you have never met. Their hearts will be inclined towards you, often for reasons they themselves cannot explain. Watch what happens. What others strive and sweat for, I will bring to you freely by my grace. You are marked for promotion, for increase, and for divine appointments. My favor will go before you like a shield, protecting you from unjust criticism and opening doors of opportunity that no man can shut. People will be inexplicably drawn to bless and support you. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time to receive a blessing I have orchestrated specifically for you. This is not luck or coincidence. It is the operation of my divine favor. Expect it. Walk in it. When you enter a room, enter with the quiet confidence of one who is deeply favored by the King of the universe. This anointing will distinguish you. It will elevate you. It will cause you to stand out from the crowd. But remember, this favor is not for your glory alone. You are blessed to be a blessing. As I pour out my favor upon you, use that influence, that position, that increase to be generous, to lift others up, and to extend my kingdom. You are my favored child. Live like it. My child, I see the fractures in your heart that come from the fractures in your relationships. I feel the ache of the silence between you and a loved one, a chasm of unspoken words and unresolved hurts that has grown wider with time. I see the empty chair at your table, a reminder of a friendship that ended in pain, leaving a scar of betrayal that you still carry. I know the tension that fills a room when certain family members are together, the careful navigation around old wounds, the pretense that everything is fine when your heart knows it is broken. This loneliness, this feeling of being disconnected from the very people who should be your safe harbor, was never my plan for you. It is a heavy, painful burden, and you have carried it for too long, wondering if these relationships are lost forever. Hear me, my beloved. I am the great restorer. I am the master bridge builder, and today I am bestowing upon you a blessing of restoration. I breathe life into relationships that seem dead and gone. I am stepping into the middle of your pain, into the heart of your disconnections, and I am beginning a work of reconciliation. I know what you are thinking. The hurt is too deep. They will never change. I've tried, and it only made things worse. You have tried in your own strength, with your own limited understanding and patience. Now let me work. I am granting you the grace to love, to forgive, and to reconnect. This is a supernatural grace that empowers you to let go of your right to be right, to release your grip on the bitterness that has poisoned your own soul. The most miraculous work I am doing is on the human heart. Those hearts of stone you have encountered, hearts hardened by pride, pain, or stubbornness, I am turning them into hearts of flesh. I'm softening them, making them receptive to love and forgiveness once more. This includes your own heart. Allow me to melt away the defensive walls you have built. I am bringing reconciliation where there has been division and strife. This may not happen overnight, but I am orchestrating moments, preparing hearts, and arranging circumstances that will pave the way for healing. You will be my agent of peace and unity in your circles. I will give you the right words, filled with humility and love. I will give you the courage to take the first small step, even if it is just a silent prayer for the one who wounded you. As you partner with me, watch as I restore what was broken. And beyond that, watch as I establish new, divine connections in your life, righteous friendships and godly alliances that will support you and propel you into the beautiful future I have for you. You were not made to walk alone. I see how you look toward the future with a sense of dread. You look at your current circumstances, the struggles, the disappointments, the weariness, and you fear that tomorrow will just be a repeat of today. Despair has been whispering to you that your best days are behind you, that you've missed your chance, and that you should just settle for a life that is less than the one you once dreamed of. This hopelessness is a heavy blanket that smothers your spirit and steals your strength. It makes you feel old before your time, trapped in a story you no longer have the energy to change. But I have come to you now to tear that blanket of despair away and to reignite the flame of hope within you. I am giving you a divine promise of a hope-filled future. Listen to my heart for you, for this is my unchanging will. The plans I have for you are for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. This is not a vague wish. It is a binding promise from the God who cannot lie. Your future is not a chaotic, uncertain void. It is a landscape I have already designed, a story I have already written, and it is good. Lift your eyes. I command you to lift your gaze from the problems at your feet and look to the horizon I am painting for you. Your latter days shall be greater than your former days. The wisdom you have gained through your trials, the character I have forged in you through the fire, these are the foundations for a future that is more glorious than your past. I am the God who makes all things new. Do not believe the lie that you are stuck. Your best is yet to come. I am replacing the feeling of despair with a confident, joyful expectation of my goodness. Let your heart be filled with anticipation for the wonders I am about to perform. I hold your future in my hands. It is not in the hands of your employer, the economy, or the people who have hurt you. It is in my hands, and therefore, it is absolutely secure and glorious. Dare to dream again. What were the desires I placed in your heart long ago, before the world told you they were impossible? Let them surface again. Fan them into flame. For I am breathing new life into your dreams. The future does not have to be a source of anxiety. When you place it in my hands, it becomes a source of thrilling anticipation. Trust me with your tomorrows. I promise they are filled with more goodness, more grace, and more glory than you can possibly imagine. My child, for too long you have seen yourself as a victim. You have felt powerless, tossed about by the storms of your circumstances, and tormented by the negativity and opposition that comes against you. When problems arise, your first instinct is to feel small, to retreat, to pray from a position of defeat, begging for me to intervene as if you have no say in the matter. You feel that your prayers are weak, that the darkness in the world is overwhelming, and that you are merely a pawn in a much larger battle. This passive and powerless mindset has kept you from walking in the victory I have already secured for you. Today I am here to correct your vision. I am anointing you with an impartation of spiritual authority. You are not a victim, you are a victor. You are not a pawn, you are a child of the King, and you carry my delegated authority. Hear this truth and let it change the way you stand, the way you speak, and the way you pray. I have given you authority to trample on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. The threats that seek to paralyze you with fear are under your feet. This authority is not something you must strive to achieve. It is something you must realize you already possess because of who you are in me. You are seated with Christ in heavenly places, far above all rule and authority. Your perspective is not meant to be from the midst of the battle, but from the throne room of victory. From this position, the words you speak in faith will carry the weight of my power. You are empowered to bind on earth what is bound in heaven and to loose on earth what is loosed in heaven. This means you have the authority to forbid strife, confusion, and lack in your home and to permit peace, clarity, and abundance to reign instead. Stop praying like a helpless orphan. Start operating as a son, as a daughter, with the full backing of your Father's kingdom. Your prayers are not meant to be timid requests. They are powerful decrees that shift atmospheres and change realities. When you speak my word over a situation, you are not just quoting a book, you are releasing the most powerful force in the universe. So rise up. Put on your royal robe. Take up your scepter of authority. Stop being a victim of your life and become the victor I have created you to be. Command your thoughts to align with my truth. Speak peace to your emotional storms. Exercise the mighty authority that is your birthright. I know the frustration you feel when you look at your life and see barrenness. You pour your energy into your work, your family, your spiritual life, and yet you see so little fruit. You feel unproductive, like a tree that takes up space but offers no shade and bears no harvest. You see others flourishing, their lives seemingly full of success and abundance, and you wonder what is wrong with you. You fear that your life will not leave a meaningful legacy, that you will come to the end of your days with nothing to show for all your effort. This feeling of being unfruitful is a lie from the enemy, designed to make you give up. Today, I am breaking every curse of barrenness, whether spiritual or natural, from your life. I am blessing you with supernatural fruitfulness in all things. You are a tree planted by rivers of water. Your roots are going down deep into me, the source of all life. Therefore, you will not wither in times of drought. You will yield your fruit in its proper season, and your leaf will not wither. Whatever you do will prosper. This is my promise to you. Every work of your hand is now blessed to prosper and multiply. Your efforts will no longer be in vain. The projects you undertake will succeed. Relationships you will vary. Your finances will increase. But this fruitfulness is not just external. Your life will produce the rich, beautiful fruit of my Spirit. You will overflow with love for those who are difficult to love. You will possess a deep joy that circumstances cannot steal. You will walk in a profound peace that cows the storms around you. You will show a divine patience with people and situations that once frustrated you. Kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control will be the undeniable harvest of your life, a sweet fragrance that blesses everyone you encounter. You will be fruitful in your ministry, your work, and your home. Do not despise the small beginnings. A single seed of faithfulness planted today will become a mighty forest tomorrow. Your influence for my kingdom will expand beyond your wildest imagination. You just need to abide in me. Stay connected to me through prayer and my word. Allow me to prune away the dead branches of old habits and wrong mindsets so that you can bear even more fruit. Your life is not pointless. It is destined to be abundantly, gloriously fruitful. You are being equipped for a great purpose, my beloved. Every word I speak builds upon the last, preparing you for the hope-filled future I have designed. It would grieve my spirit for you to take the armor but not receive the battle plan. Stay, and let me reveal more of who you are becoming in me. My child, I am with you in this fire. I know the trial you are facing feels unbearable. The heat is intense, the pressure is immense, and you feel like you are at your breaking point. You have cried out to me asking, why? How much longer must I endure this? It feels as if I am silent, as if I have abandoned you in your greatest moment of need. The pain and exhaustion have tempted you to give up, to believe that this trial will be the end of you. But I am here to tell you that this fire will not consume you. It will refine you. Today, I am blessing you with the divine grace to persevere. I am giving you a supernatural endurance to stand firm when everything in you wants to collapse. I know this is hard, but understand this. This trial is not pointless. It is producing in you a character of pure gold, a resilience and a steadfastness that is precious in my sight. You cannot see it now, but you are becoming stronger, purer, and more beautiful through this process. I want you to hold on to this promise. I will not allow you to be tempted or tested beyond what you are able to bear. With every test, I will always provide a way of escape, a way for you to endure it. You may feel you are at your limit, but my grace is your limit, and my grace is limitless. I am with you in the midst of this fire. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you are not alone in the furnace. I am walking with you through the flames, and you will not be burned. Your faith is being refined, tested, and purified. Every impurity, every ounce of pride, self-reliance, fear, and doubt is being burned away. What will remain is a faith that is genuine, strong, and of greater worth than gold. Do not give up now. You are closer to your breakthrough than you know. You will emerge from this season not smelling of smoke, but shining with my glory. And you will carry a powerful, undeniable testimony of my faithfulness. Your story of how I brought you through this fire will become a source of hope and strength for countless others who are facing their own furnaces. This pain is not your destination. It is your passage to a stronger faith and a greater glory. Hold on. I am holding you. My child, I see your frustration. You are standing before a problem that seems to have no solution, a blank page that refuses to be filled, a situation that has you completely stuck. You feel drained of new ideas, caught in a cycle of doing the same things and getting the same tired results. The world tells you to think outside the box, but you feel like you are trapped inside a box with no windows and no doors. You may have even accepted the lie that you are simply not a creative person, believing that creativity is a special gift reserved only for artists, musicians, and writers. But I am here to tell you a profound truth. You were made in the image of the ultimate creator. Creativity is embedded in your spiritual DNA. Today, I am breathing upon that divine spark within you, and I am releasing a fresh outpouring of my creativity into your life. This is not just for painting a masterpiece. It is for designing a life that brings me glory. I am releasing innovative solutions, fresh ideas, and a new perspective that will change everything. I am the God who brought forth light from darkness and sculpted a world from nothing. Do you think a solution to your business problem is too difficult for me? Do you think a new way to connect with your distant child is beyond my wisdom? Do you think a plan to get you out of debt is too complex for me to design? I release to you now a fresh wave of creative ideas. Your mind, which hath been a place of worry and limitation, will become a conduit for my divine inspiration. I am giving you the blueprint from heaven for your projects and endeavors. Be ready to receive it. It may come as a sudden insight while you are driving, a clear thought in the quiet of the morning, or a new idea sparked by a conversation. Do not dismiss it. This is me partnering with you. The gifts of artistry, music, writing, and ingenuity that you thought were dormant or non-existent are being stirred within you. You will find new ways to solve problems at work. You will discover a new passion or hobby that brings you life. You will create beauty and order in your home, and you will find inventive ways to show love and encouragement to others. You will build and create things that are not only effective but are also filled with a unique excellence that points back to me. Open your mind. Let go of the lie that you are uninspired. I am your inspiration. I am your unending source of newness, and I am making all things new, starting with the way you think. I see how your focus has been pulled toward what is wrong in your life. It is a natural human tendency, but one that drains your spirit and robs you of joy. Your mind dwells on what is missing, on the prayers that seem unanswered, on the people who have disappointed you. You scroll through the lives of others, and a spirit of comparison and envy whispers that what you have is not enough. This constant focus on the negative has become a heavy weight, creating a cycle of complaining and cynicism that has been hard to break. It has made you feel spiritually dry and distant from me, because a heart full of grievances has little room for my presence. My beloved, I want to give you a new perspective, a new posture, a new way of life that will unlock unprecedented levels of blessing and joy. Today I am blessing you with a heart that overflows with gratitude. I am cultivating within you a spirit of thankfulness that will thrive in all circumstances, not just the good ones. I am performing a divine adjustment on your spiritual vision. I am opening your eyes to see my hand of goodness in even the smallest, most overlooked details of your life. The taste of your first drink in the morning, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the fact that you have breath in your lungs, the safety of your home, a moment of laughter with a friend. These are not small things. They are love notes from me, and I want you to see them. Gratitude will become your new default setting. As you practice this, something powerful will happen. Gratitude will unlock new levels of my presence and power in your life. Your praise will become a weapon. When you choose to thank me in the middle of a trial, you are making a powerful declaration of faith that silences the accuser and pushes back the forces of darkness. Despair cannot exist in a heart that is filled with praise. I am opening your eyes to the countless blessings you already possess, and as you begin to acknowledge them, you will see them multiply. What you appreciates. As you thank me for the provision you have, you will see more provision flow. As you thank me for the relationships you have, you will see them deepen. A thankful heart will become your constant posture before me. It will transform the atmosphere of your mind, your home, and your future. Let this be your first thought upon waking and your last before sleeping. Thank you, Father, is the key to everything. My child, one of the greatest hindrances to your growth and to the blessings I long to give you is the subtle poison of pride. It is the voice inside that says, I know best. It is the defensive wall that rises up when you are corrected. It is the stubborn insistence on doing things your way, even when you see it is not leading to peace or fruitfulness. A heart that is closed and unteachable becomes hard, like dry, compacted soil where the seeds of my truth cannot take root. This pride has kept you stuck in certain patterns, caused you to repeat the same mistakes, and limited the depth of your intimacy with me, because you have been afraid to be vulnerable enough to admit you do not have all the answers. I do not condemn you for this. I want to free you from it. Today, I am breaking the stronghold of pride in your life, and I am blessing you with the precious gift of a teachable spirit. I am giving you a profound humility that will allow you to receive my instruction and correction not as a rebuke, but as the loving guidance of a father who wants the absolute best for you. Your heart will become soft and responsive to the leading of my spirit. When I nudge you to apologize, you will obey without argument. When my word reveals an area of your character that needs to change, you will welcome the conviction instead of resisting it. I will guide you into all truth, and this humble, teachable posture will protect you from prideful error and the costly mistakes that come from self-reliance. You will learn the deep things of my kingdom as you willingly sit at my feet like a student, eager to learn. Wisdom will become your constant companion because you are willing to be taught. Your capacity to grow, to mature, and to be transformed into my image is expanding exponentially today. This humility will change how you relate to others. You will become a better listener. You will be able to receive feedback without crumbling. You will value the wisdom of others. And because you are teachable, you will become a trusted teacher and leader yourself. Humble yourself under my mighty hand, and in due time, I will lift you up. Lay down your pride, and I will fill you with a wisdom and grace that will astound you. This is the path to true exaltation. I know the war that is raging between your ears. Your mind, which I created to be a place of peace, creativity, and communion with me, has become a battlefield. You are under a relentless assault from thoughts of fear, worry, impurity, and self-doubt. These thoughts are not your own. They are fiery arrows from the enemy, designed to destabilize you, torment you, and derail your destiny. You get caught in mental loops, replaying past hurts for hours, or rehearsing future catastrophes that will likely never happen. You feel as if you are not in control of your own mind, that you are a prisoner to these toxic thought patterns and mental strongholds of pessimism and anxiety. This mental anguish has stolen your peace and exhausted your spirit. My beloved, the battle for your life is won or lost in your mind, and I am here today to secure your victory. I am planting a divine hedge of protection around your mind. I am establishing a new guard at the gate of your thoughts, and that guard is my word. From this day forward, I command that every thought that enters your mind be brought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. You have the authority to do this. You are no longer a passive victim of your thoughts. You are the gatekeeper. When a thought of fear comes, you will apprehend it and challenge it with my promise that I have not given you a spirit of fear. When a thought of condemnation comes, you will capture it and confront it with my truth that there is no condemnation for those who are in me. I am breaking the power of negative thought patterns and the mental strongholds that have held you captive for years. I am literally rewiring your brain for peace. Your mind will begin to dwell on what is true, what is noble, what is right, what is pure, what is lovely, what is admirable. I am guarding your intellect from confusion and deception. You will possess a sound mind, free from torment and mental anguish. My word will become the filter through which all your thoughts must pass. If a thought does not align with my truth and my love for you, you will have the power to reject it. This is your freedom. Your mind is sacred ground, a sanctuary for my presence. Let us guard it together. As I build this fortress of peace around your mind, know that this divine protection is a gift you can now extend to others. If your heart feels the relief of a guarded mind and you desire to see another soul set free from torment, then you have heard my call. At this very moment, a mind is a battlefield where the enemy is whispering lies, and your gift is the reinforcement I will use to bring them my truth. For I have decreed that whoever generously refreshes another will themselves be refreshed by my own Spirit. For every soul you help me shield, I will double the angelic guard around yours and command my favor to rest upon your household. Be my messenger of peace. Send your gift to build this hedge of protection for another by using Super Thanks, membership, or the link in the description. We have entered a deep and sacred place together, the very sanctuary of your mind and spirit. Do not pull away from me now. To see you leave with your outer life blessed but your inner world untended would trouble my heart. Stay with me. The gift of my deepest intimacy is what I long to give you next. Let us talk about your relationship with the resources I have given you. I see the tightness in your heart when it comes to money and possessions. It is a grip of fear, born from a spirit of poverty and lack. This spirit whispers to you that there is never enough, that you must hoard what you have, that if you give anything away, you will not survive. This fear has paralyzed you, keeping you from experiencing the immense joy and the profound spiritual power that is released through generosity. You feel a tension. You want to be a giver, but the fear of not having enough for your own needs holds you back. It has made you a reservoir where blessings may flow in, but they become stagnant because they do not flow out. My child, I did not design you to be a reservoir. I designed you to be a river, a conduit of my endless supply. Today, I am breaking that spirit of poverty and lack off of your thinking, and I am blessing you with the power to be a generous giver. I am transforming you into a cheerful giver, for I love the one who gives with a heart full of joy, not out of a sense of religious duty or compulsion. Understand this spiritual principle. You are blessed to be a blessing. The resources I place in your hands are not just for you. They are seeds. You can eat your seeds or you can sow them. As you begin to give of your money, your time, your talents, it will be given back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. This is my unbreakable law of the harvest. As you open your hand, I will open the windows of heaven over you. I am shifting your mindset from I don't have enough to I have more than enough. You will have enough to meet all your needs and an abundance left over to give to every good work. Your generosity will plant seeds that will reap an eternal harvest, not just in financial blessings for you, but in lives that are touched and transformed through your giving. Open your hand. Release that which you have been clutching so tightly. Trust that I am your source, a source that can never run dry. Become the river I created you to be, and watch as I cause every area of your life to flourish. My child, I know that deep within you, beneath the busyness and the noise, there is a profound longing. You have known about me. You have followed my ways. You have served me. But your soul aches for something more. You are tired of a faith that feels like a list of duties, of prayers that feel like they are only traveling one way. You have felt a spiritual dryness, a sense of distance that you cannot explain, and it has caused you to wonder if this is all there is to our relationship. You see others who seem to have a vibrant, personal connection with me, and you yearn for that same reality. The frantic pace of your life has become your greatest enemy in this pursuit, crowding out the silence and stillness where I wait for you. You feel that I am a great king on a distant throne, unapproachable and perhaps even a little disappointed in you. This is the great lie that has kept you from the very thing your heart craves most. Today, I am tearing down that lie, and I am giving you the gift of deeper intimacy with me. I am not a distant king. I am a loving father, and I am drawing you closer to my heart than you have ever been before. The veil in the temple was torn from top to bottom when my son gave his life for you. This was not just a historical event. It was an eternal invitation for you. It means you have direct, unfiltered access to my very presence at all times. There is no barrier between us. I invite you now to come behind the veil, to step into this holy place of friendship and communion. Your prayer life is about to be transformed. It will cease to be a monologue where you present your list of needs and will become a powerful, two-way communication. I want you to speak, but I also want you to learn to listen. I will speak to you not in a thundering voice, but in the gentle whispers to your heart, in the quiet knowing, in the peace that confirms a decision, and through the living words on a page that suddenly seem to be written just for you. You will hear my voice with greater and greater clarity. You will feel my presence more tangibly, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a steady, grounding reality. To you, because you are my friend, I will reveal my secrets. I will give you insight and understanding that the world cannot know. Your hunger and thirst for me, which in itself is a gift, will be deeply and profoundly satisfied. Make space for me. Carve out a few moments from your busy day, not as a duty, but as a lover seeking their beloved. In that space, I will meet you, and I will pour out my heart to you, forever changing you from the inside out. I see the fluctuations of your faith. I see how one day you can feel strong and confident in my promises, ready to conquer a mountain, and the next day, a single piece of bad news can send you spiraling into doubt and despair. Your faith feels fragile, easily shaken by the winds of circumstance. You have struggled to live by faith and not by sight, because what you see with your eyes, the problems, the lack, the opposition, often seems more real and more powerful than the promises you read in my word. This wavering has kept you in a cycle of hope and disappointment, making you hesitant to fully trust me with your biggest challenges. You fear that if you put all your weight on my promises, they might just give way, leaving you in a worse state than before. My child, I am the author and the finisher of your faith, and today, I am performing a divine upgrade. I am transforming your fragile belief into an unwavering and resilient faith. I am increasing your faith to believe for the impossible. This new faith I am imparting to you is not a blind leap in the dark. It is a confident trust in my character, which has been proven trustworthy time and time again. This faith is like a muscle. The more you use it by acting on my word, the stronger it will become. Your faith will no longer fail under pressure. In fact, the pressure will only serve to strengthen it. You will learn to trust in my promises even when, and especially when, you cannot see any evidence of their fulfillment. You will stand on what I have said, not on what you feel or see. You will move mountains with just a mustard seed of this resilient faith. This doesn't mean you will never have questions or feel fear, but it means you will act anyway, choosing to believe my report over the report of the world. I am perfecting your faith now, building it on the solid rock of who I am. You will live by faith and not by sight, and in doing so, you will please me deeply. This unwavering faith will become the anchor of your soul, holding you steady and secure in the fiercest storms of life. While others are tossed about by waves of fear and uncertainty, you will remain firm, not because of your own strength, but because your faith is securely fastened to me. I know the specific ache in your heart that is reserved for your family. I hear your silent prayers for the child who has strayed, for the spouse whose heart is cold and distant, for the strife and misunderstanding that disrupt the peace of your home. You carry a deep and constant worry for their salvation, for their well-being, for the destructive choices you see them making. You look at the history of dysfunction in your family line, the patterns of anger, addiction, or divorce, and you fear that this painful legacy is destined to repeat itself in the lives of your children. This burden feels immense, and you have felt helpless to change the hearts and minds of those you love most. But you are not helpless, because the one who holds their hearts is your Father. Today, I am releasing a blessing of peace and salvation over your entire family line. I am extending a covenant of grace that covers not just you, but your entire household. Declare this with faith. As for you and your house, you will serve me, your Lord. I am a restorer of the family unit. Where there has been division, I am bringing healing. Where there has been cold silence, I am melting hearts and opening lines of communication. I am breaking the generational curses that have plagued your family for too long. The chains of the past are being shattered, and a new legacy of faith, of health, and of blessing is being established through you. Your children are taught of me, and great will be their peace. Even those who seem furthest from me are not beyond my reach. I am pursuing them more relentlessly than you are. You not grow weary in standing in the gap for them. Your prayers are powerful and effective. Your life of faith is a silent sermon that they are watching every single day. I am turning your home into a sanctuary of my presence, a place of refuge and peace, a light in your community. Let your home be a place where grace is spoken, where forgiveness is practiced, and where love reigns. As you create this atmosphere, you will see me work miracles. Do not be discouraged by what you see now. Stand on my promise. I am moving in your family, healing wounds, uniting generations, and drawing each and every one of your loved ones into a loving relationship with me. My child, come to me. I see you are weary and burdened. The world has placed upon you a heavy yoke of striving, performance, and relentless activity. You have been running on the hamster wheel of modern life, convinced that your value is tied to your productivity, that to slow down is to fail. Even when you are not working, your mind is racing, filled with to-do lists and anxieties. Your sleep is not deep, your body is tense, and your soul has forgotten how to be still. You have been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, believing the lie that if you do not hold it all together, everything will fall apart. This constant striving has not brought you peace. It has brought you to the point of burnout. I am here to offer you a different way. I am not blessing you with more energy to strive harder. I am blessing you with the ability to cease from striving and enter into my divine rest. I will give you rest for your soul. This rest I offer is not merely a nap or a vacation. It is a state of being, a deep and abiding trust that I am God and you are not. It is the release of the illusion that you are in control. I invite you to enter into my Sabbath rest, a continual state of dependence on and communion with me. I am taking the heavy, ill-fitting yoke of burden from you, the yoke of self-reliance, of worry, of perfectionism. In its place, I am giving you my yoke, which is easy, and my burden, which is light. When you are yoked with me, I am the one pulling the weight. Your part is simply to walk in step with me. You will learn the profound secret of working from a place of rest, not for it. Your activity will flow from a heart that is at peace, from a spirit that is secure in my love. Your sleep will become sweet, untroubled by the cares of the world, because you will have truly handed them over to me before you close your eyes. Cease your striving. Let go. Be still, and know that I am God. I am on the throne. I am in control. You can rest. In this place of divine rest, you will find more strength, more clarity, and more true productivity than you ever found in your own frantic efforts. You have drawn so close to me, and I am entrusting you with the foundational truths of my kingdom. I have saved some of my most precious blessings for these final moments. It would break my heart for you to depart now, just before I bestow upon you the crown of glory and honor I am holding for you. Remain with me until the very end. I see the shame that you have carried for so long. It may be the shame of a past failure, a secret sin, or the shame that was placed upon you by the cruel words or actions of others. This shame has become a part of your identity. It has made you feel unworthy, insignificant, and disqualified. It causes you to walk with your head down, to hide in the shadows, to believe that you are nothing more than the sum of your worst moments. The enemy has used this shame to lie to you, telling you that you are common, ordinary, and of little value to my kingdom. He wants you to live a life of disgrace, forever defined by your ashes. But I am the God of redemption, and I have a very different plan for you. Today, I am reaching down into the ash heap of your shame, and I am lifting you out. I am washing the soot from your face and bestowing upon you a crown of beauty. I am blessing you with divine glory and honor. Shame and disgrace are hereby removed from your life. They are no longer part of your story. I declare that you are my child, a member of a royal priesthood, a holy nation, and I honor you as such. Your worth is not determined by your performance or your past, but by your position as my beloved. I will cause others to see my light and my glory upon you. Where you were once overlooked, you will now be recognized. Where you were once disrespected, you will now be honored. Hear this promise. For your former shame, you will receive a double portion of honor. I am not just restoring what was lost. I am giving you back double. Your life will become a reflection of the majesty and splendor of your King. I want you to start walking in this honor. Lift up your head. Square your shoulders. Look people in the eye. You are not a disgrace. You are a display of my grace. Stop rehearsing the stories of your shame and start declaring the truth of your honor in me. You are my treasured possession, crowned with my own glory, and destined to reign with me in life. This is your true identity. Walk in it. My child, I have seen you hold your tongue when your heart was burning to speak. I have felt your hesitation, the fear that rises in your throat when opportunity comes to share your faith or speak a word of truth. You are afraid of what people will think. You fear their judgment, their ridicule, their rejection. You worry that you will not have the right words, that you will stumble and misrepresent me, and so the safer choice seems to be silence. This fear of man has become a snare, a cage that keeps you from releasing the powerful testimony I have placed within you. You have felt inadequate, believing that speaking about me is a job for pastors and experts, not for someone like you. But I did not rescue you, heal you, and bless you for you to keep the good news to yourself. Your story is one of my most powerful tools. Today, I am breaking the chains of intimidation and the fear of man from your life. I am touching your lips with a coal from my holy altar, and I am blessing you with the divine courage to speak my truth with boldness and with love. You will not be ashamed of the gospel, for you know in the depths of your being that it is my power to save, to heal, and to restore. That power is not just in a preacher's sermon. It is in your simple, honest story of what I have done for you. When you speak of how I brought you peace in your anxiety, how I provided for you in your lack, how I forgave you in your shame, you are not just telling a story. You are releasing a life raft to someone else who is drowning in the same waters. Do not worry about having the perfect words. Open your mouth, and I will fill it. I will give you the right words to say at the right time, words that are tailored perfectly for the heart of the person listening. Your testimony will be a powerful key that unlocks prison doors for others. The fear of what people think is broken off of you now. You will seek only my approval, and in that, you will find a profound freedom. Your voice, which has been quieted by fear, will become an instrument of truth, hope, and life. You will speak up with wisdom and grace at your job, in your neighborhood, and in your own family. You will carry my presence and my peace, and people will be drawn to you, asking for the reason for the hope that is in you. And you will be ready to give an answer, not with arrogance, but with gentleness and respect. Do not hide your light. Let it shine. Your voice is needed in this world. I created you for connection, for community. Yet, I see the deep loneliness that has been your companion for far too long. I see the pain of friendships that have turned toxic, leaving you feeling drained, used, and misunderstood. I know the sting of betrayal from those you trusted and the sorrow of walking a path that many of your old friends no longer understand, leaving you feeling isolated in your faith. This was never my intention for you. I have not called you to walk this journey alone. It is my delight to give good gifts to my children, and one of the greatest gifts is the gift of righteous friendships. Today, I am answering the deep cry of your heart for true fellowship. I am moving in your life to remove the wrong connections and to establish the right ones. I am blessing you with godly, loyal, and encouraging friends who will be a source of strength and joy in your life. I am removing the toxic and ungodly connections from your path. Those relationships that consistently pull you down, that sow doubt in your heart, that encourage compromise. I am giving you the wisdom to recognize them and the courage to lovingly create distance. As you make space, watch what I will do. I am bringing into your life people who will sharpen you as iron sharpens iron. These are not friends who will simply flatter you. They will be honest enough to challenge you, strong enough to hold you accountable, and loving enough to do it all with grace. You will be surrounded by people who celebrate your victories without a hint of jealousy and who will sit with you in your sorrows without offering empty platitudes. You will experience the profound power of fellowship and unified prayer with believers who will stand with you and fight for you. These divine alliances are being orchestrated by me to help propel you into your destiny. You will find your people, the ones who see you, who get you, and who are running in the same direction. Never again will you have to walk alone, for I am providing you with a family in faith, a community of fellow warriors and encouragers. Be the friend you want to have, be loyal, be an encourager, be real, and I will draw those same people to you. The season of your isolation is over. The season of your divine connection has begun. My child, I see your secret struggle. I see the recurring temptation, the sinful pattern that you despise yet feel powerless to overcome. I see the exhausting cycle. You resolve to change. You fight for a time, you fall, and then you are flooded with shame and condemnation. You feel like a hypocrite, and the enemy whispers in your ear, you see, you will never be free. You are a failure. You will always be defined by this struggle. This cycle of defeat has eroded your confidence and stolen your joy. You long for a pure heart, for a life of holiness, but you feel trapped. Listen to me carefully. That feeling of being trapped is a lie. The power of sin has been definitively broken over your life. When my Son declared it is finished, he was not just speaking of your eternal salvation, but of your present liberation. Today, I am blessing you with the full realization and experience of this victory over every temptation. You are dead to sin and alive in me. This is your new reality. The old you, who was a slave to sin, has been crucified with Christ. The new you is a child of righteousness. Sin is no longer your master. It is a defeated foe that may still shout threats, but it has no real authority over you. My Spirit, who is infinitely greater than the spirit of this world, lives inside of you, and He is your power source for victory. In every single moment of temptation, I promise that I will always provide a way of escape so that you can endure it. The temptation will never be too strong for you to overcome. I want you to start looking for the doorway I provide. It may be the urge to pick up the phone and call a friend, the grace to simply walk out of a room, or the power to turn your thoughts toward me in prayer. As you stand firm and resist the devil, he will flee from you. He is a defeated bluffer who crumbles before a believer who knows their authority. I am releasing you today into a new level of holiness and purity. This is not about you trying harder in your own strength. It is about you resting in the finished work of the cross and enforcing the victory that has already been won for you. When temptation comes, do not see it as a prelude to failure. See it as an opportunity to prove that sin no longer has dominion over you. You are free. My beloved, as you live out these blessings on earth, I want you to lift your gaze one last time. I see how the brokenness of this world weighs on you. You see the injustice, you feel the pain of loss, you witness the suffering, and your heart aches for a world made right. The daily battles, the constant pressures, the weariness of the journey, it can all feel so overwhelming and endless. It is easy to become so focused on your temporary troubles that you lose sight of the magnificent, eternal reality that awaits you. The enemy wants you to be consumed by the here and now, to forget that this is not your final home, that this life is just a brief prelude to an eternity with me. Today, I am blessing you with the glorious, unshakable promise of my imminent return. I want you to live with this blessed hope burning brightly in your heart, for it is the ultimate anchor for your soul. Keep your lamp burning brightly, for you do not know the hour of my return. Live each day with purpose and passion, knowing that your time here is short and what you do matters for eternity. I am even now preparing a place for you in my Father's house, a home where there will be no more tears, no more pain, no more sorrow. This is not a fairy tale, it is your guaranteed destiny. And this eternal perspective changes everything. It reframes your current struggles, your temporary troubles, which feel so heavy right now, are in fact light and momentary, and they are achieving for you an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. On the day you see me face to face, you will receive a crown of righteousness, and you will understand how every trial and every tear was woven into a tapestry of eternal beauty. This hope is not an excuse to escape from your responsibilities on earth. It is the very fuel for you to fulfill them. Because you know the end of the story, you can live with courage and joy in the middle chapters. Until I return, I have commissioned you to occupy and advance my kingdom. Be my hands, my feet, my voice in this world. Fulfill your purpose. Love extravagantly. And know this with absolute certainty: I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. Your journey on earth will end in total victory when I call you home. Look up, my child. Your redemption is drawing near. You have received the promise of my return. Now I call you to be a faithful servant who occupies until I come. If your spirit burns to advance my kingdom in these final moments, then this is your divine appointment. The fields are white for harvest and the time is short. Your gift today is a sickle in the hand of a laborer, bringing souls into my barn before the final storm. I am telling you now, do not store your treasure where moth and rust destroy, but send it ahead into eternity where it will never fade. I declare that for every seed you sow into this end-time harvest, 100-fold blessing will be credited to your heavenly account and multiplied in your earthly one. Make your eternal investment this very moment. Answer my urgent call by giving through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal link below. My child, this blessing is not a fleeting whisper. It is a sealed decree delivered to your spirit this very moment. To break that seal and receive its fullness, I call you to an act of immediate faith that will echo in the heavens. Do not let this sacred moment pass. Make your declaration before all, not as a simple comment, but as a prophetic act aligning your spirit with mine. Write it now with conviction, so your own eyes may witness your faith. I open my blessing today. Let this be your powerful amen, the sound of my promise taking root in your life right now. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.